Hello, you're listening to Otaku Spirit Anime Cast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined here with Chris.
Yo.
Today's episode is our Winter 2025 anime preview. It is time to dive through all the shows, upcoming shows of the coming season, and give you guys a full lowdown on every single one of them, who's working on them, what it's about, and you'll even get some screenshots if you're watching the video version, so people can check out what it looks like. I can't put the actual video on there, I'm sorry, because YouTube, but it is what it is. How's it going, Chris? Are you ready? Are you excited for the coming season?
Of course.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, just alone for like the returners, that's where everything's obviously super crazy. But there's like a really good little set of like a good handful of new coming shows that I'm like pretty darn excited for. Like some new coming ones. Are you ready? Are you gonna just tap it all in the mind like you did last time? It's always like Chris like either has something to write on or he doesn't, and then we figure it out later on. We usually just figure it out later on. I already have my list because of course I do my little video beforehand, so it is what it is. But we have a lot to go through, so let's just jump into it. As per usual, at otakuspirit.com is where all of our links are, social media links, ways to get a hold of us, ways to support us. You can find the links in the description of this video if you want to figure that out that way. So let's dive into it. Let's start off with, we'll do new series, then we'll go into the returning series, then we'll do some shorts, and then we'll wrap things up. As per usual, everything is subject to change. Some shows can get delayed to another season, some can get pulled. Well, I guess they can't get pulled forward at this point because we're almost done with the current season. They can get delayed. Everything's subject to change. Who's streaming it, all that kind of stuff. But we'll give you a general idea of the show itself. So let's dive into it. Starting off with Sakamoto Days. We have the new Spy Family show is coming up. I'm sure there's a group of people that would be very offended by saying that it's a Spy Family show. Sakamoto Days, when Sakamoto meets Aoi, the convenience store clerk, it's love at first sight, and just like that, he retires. Sakamoto gets married, has a daughter, opens a mom-and-pop store in a quiet town, and completely transforms into a plus-size man. To ensure a peaceful life with his beloved family, the legendary ex-hitman bands together with comrades to face off against the looming threat of assassins. Assassins. I don't know, it seems like at some point in the PV he gets hunky again, so I don't know if it's going to constantly do like flashbacks, or if like whenever he gets really ticked off, he just suddenly like his metabolism shoots the roof and he just loses a bunch of weight and becomes super muscular. I don't know. It could be flashbacks, but yes, TMS Entertainment is working on this one. The source is a manga. These genres are action comedy. Director worked on Kato and Bartender. The series composition writer worked on Ranking Kings and Fruits Basket. And the music is being done the composer that worked on My Hero Academia, Insomniacs After School, and Arc Knights. So good stuff there. And this will be on the Netting Flicks. The Netting Flicks. Is that too bright for you? The camera over here is like going, oh my gosh, it's so bright. I could turn down the brightness if it's too much. Are you excited, Chris? Is this up your alley? Have you been keeping an eye on this one?
It looks kind of fun. Yeah, it looks really fun. So
it looks fun. It should be comedic, Chris. That's the thing that I was getting, though. Like, when I was watching the PVs, like, when they first announced it, I was like, I think I heard some people talk about Sakamoto Days before. That was a good property.
I want to say that I've heard about it before.
But, like, when I watched the PV, I'm like, this just looks fun. Like, it's almost like Dandadan right now. It's like, it just looks fun. Like, you can't... I mean, granted, Dandadan has a lot of other stuff, and I'm hoping this one will have the same with, like, really good chemistry and characters. It looks like it's got some good chemistry in there. But it's like, it just looks fun. He just... yeah, I mean, they literally have a High School of the Dead chin boob moment. Like, literally, I don't know if it's in this trailer, but, yeah, like, he gets shot, and he goes... it's like the chick from High School of the Dead where she does the whole back thing, and all of a sudden her boobs just do this thing in between the bullet going by. I'm like, they did a total High School of the Dead boob physics chin thing. It's weird, but I like it. I dig it. Now I'm curious again. It kind of insinuates the idea that he obviously retires, and then I'm assuming people come after him still because he's the famous assassin dude, and everybody wants their revenge, or possibly just. Probably somebody puts a hit out on him.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna have to get with the old band and go back after them. I don't know. It looks fun. It looks like a lot of fun. So I'm super pumped. I've heard some good things about the manga. Team working on it seemed pretty good. I mean, I know a lot of people have issues with Kato, the right answer. I really liked it. It was a CGI show, but at the same time, the directing was really good. Like it yeah, put aside a lot of people's complaints of the story and how it ended. That's not technically the issue of the director. They did a really good job directing that one. I mean, it was just a really phenomenally done one. So that gives me a lot of hope. And again, serious competition. They worked on Ranking of Kings and Fruits Basket. That's good stuff there. Good music with My Hero Academia and stuff. I think it's all kind of lining up to be really good. TMS Entertainment's kind of a little bit of a question mark there. I mean, there's a little bit of a fear visually that it'll get a little bit bland at some point, lacking the animation. But with it being such a very, I guess, a high expectation types of show, Netflix is... I don't know that Netflix is producing it, but I would assume that Netflix is probably putting some money into it. Hopefully that leads to it to being a really good one.
My real only real concern is that it looks like a lot of the action scenes are kind of
action stills.
Action stills.
A lot of action stills.
That's my only real concern. And this seems like it should be a action heavy show. So I can only hope for the best. It looks fun. That's for fact.
I don't see any producers listed on Mal. They usually have producers listed. Yeah, that is the other thing to note. This will be a 2-parter split core. I think the second part's supposed to be summer? Yeah, summer. So we'll get the first core in winter. They'll skip spring, and they'll come back in summer. So that's another thing to keep in mind there. Which that's a positive. That sometimes means that the expectation there was to give a little bit of break so they can work on the second part rather than trying to 2-core it and things go downhill at some point. Or they could have screwed up and wanted to do 2-core, and that's the after effect. There's always two sides of the coin. Either way, I'm super pumped. It's in my list of most anticipated the next season. So again, Sakamoto Days. Looking forward to that one. Let's move on to Honey Lemon no Soda, the show about the boy band that saves the girl. We have in middle school, Uka Ishimori was nicknamed Stone. In order to change herself, she enrolled in Hachimitsu High School, known for its culture of student library. Oh, student library. Its culture of student library. Culture of student liberty. Seated in the back desk next to her in the same class is Kai Miura, a coolie, freewheeling boy with lemon-colored hair. I guess that's where the lemon soda thing comes from. In truth, Uka met Kai once in middle school and decided to attend Hachimitsu based on a single word he said to her. To Uka, the popular Kai is a distant presence. Yet somehow Kai starts to look after Uka. With Kai encouraging her, Uka gradually begins to fit in with her classmates. But Uka's world is gradually changing with Kai's presence. Now, I am the center of an endlessly spreading light. Doki Doki. Studio is JC Staff, sources of manga, and genres are romance, and this will be on Crunchyroll. So, I'm gonna let you go first, Chris. What are you feeling? What are you feeling, Chris? Are you in for the honey lemon soda? Do you like that lemon soda hair?
I like the character art.
Yeah, I dig it.
That's about all I can say. I mean, the concept doesn't seem all that interesting. I mean, I'll definitely give it a shot. I don't have a problem with that. So I'm mixed for sure.
I'm actually surprised. If I remember correctly, this is actually rating pretty high on popularity lists. I mean, besides the returners, I think this is besides Sakamoto Days and putting aside returners, this is like one of the most anticipated, which isn't saying much because it's still like 29,000. Next season is looking like it's very top heavy for the popularities because, again, returners. But there's a lot of expectations for this one, I guess, compared to pretty much everything else coming out next season that's new. So I was kind of hoping that there would be something really interesting here. I have to admit, when I watched the trailer, I was not into it because it just, I mean, like I said at the very beginning, the joke is it looks like girl is bullied and then the boy band comes up and it literally has her gets pushed. I mean, I don't even know if that's a pushover, but somebody touches her and she falls over. It doesn't, but she looks like he's mad. So I'm guessing the guy's being mean to her. But she's being bullied, as it seems. And cut to 4 guys shows up out of nowhere in front of her. Like they teleport in front of her and they're all standing there and they all have like the different like boy band character looks. And it's like, I mean, they even have like the cutesy girlish one in the back and then the really hot guy in the front. And I'm like, it's literally a boy band. Like I'm not even joking. It looks like a boy band showed up out of nowhere. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. I like the designs, but at the same time, I hope that there's something else there because, it's just the boy band thing's off-putting. I immediately get vibes of like just a very usual shoujo type of show where the hot guy Doki Doki, he saved me Doki Doki. We'll see though. I'm hoping there's going to be some depth to her character.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's going to have
bricks.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's probably going to have some dark past and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to assume that he probably does like her from their past visit. Maybe she did something for him that sort of helped him out, and so he wants to help her out. They just chose to wait until high school to do anything. Like they had this fateful encounter a long time ago that now they're finally just starting to connect. We'll see though. As per usual, we will watch everything. I will anyways. Chris is going to struggle. I'm going to watch everything, but first impressions aren't great so far, unfortunately, for me. We'll see though. That's honey lemon soda. Let's get our first harem show, Chris. We got the harems. We got to have some harems. Let's get this boy band crap out of here. Let's get some girls in here. We got to get some cute girls. And a dithering dude. That's not they're common, Chris. Give it a second.
Okay, there we go.
Give it a second, Chris. I'm getting married to a girl I hate. In my class. Class no dai. Oh wow, we're finally. Is this the first show that actually has a Japanese title? I've been comfortable, and now I have to finally start reading Japanese titles. People love listening to me say these titles. Class no daikirai na joshi to kekkon suru koto ni nata. High school student Saito Hojo has married his classmate. I don't know that's actually the way it should be putting it there. It looks like based on the PV, they get pulled in by the parents and they go, you should get married. But he's getting married to her. Akane Sakuramori, the girl who is his biggest rival at school. The two can't seem to get along with each other, but their heart-pounding newlywed life is about to begin. Studio Gakomi. That definitely shows an Axis. Not really great studios. Source is a light novel. Genres are comedy, romance, and the series composition, they worked on 16-Bit Sensation, Idoli Pride, and Eromanga Sensei. That's decent. But yeah. What are you feeling, Chris? Which trailer did you get? I think that's the question mark, because I didn't like this. Yeah, this is a good trailer. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. I like we got a Gyaru going on. We've got
got some mischievous. We got the Gyaru. We got the mischievous one. We got the cutesy little one.
And then full on tsundere.
Yep. And the one that only falls in love with him because all the other girls are showing up.
I'm guessing. I don't know. She seemed like she didn't have much like for him at all.
Oh, snaku. Look at all the girls want to snack on him.
No, every one of them wanted everything.
One's chewing on his neck, one's chewing on his finger. And the Gyaru, I don't think the Gyaru bit him.
She was just all up in his lap.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I love my harem, so I'll go ahead and give it a shot. We'll see what happens here.
Definitely one of those ones when I seen the very first PV they released, it was mostly focused on the main girl, and I just kind of was just like, okay, sure, all right, this is this story. Shrug. We'll see. I guess it's not a really great studio. It doesn't look that fantastic, but I'm sure it'll just be a throwaway show that I'll forget in like 2 days. And then the second PV came out and it started showing the cast, and I'm like, oh, it's one of those shows where I have zero interest in it until the other characters show up that will have no chance whatsoever for him. The ones that will all have their heart broken. The Gyaru, the mischievous one, and again, the cutesy little one. I'm like, okay, now we finally have characters that I typically like that will cry later, and he'll pick the obvious cover girl choice, which is the girl he's getting married to, which, I mean, honestly, they're married, so... or engaged, I'm guessing. I don't know. It was definitely I shrug first impressions, and now I'm kind of like I'm a little warm, and I'm with you. It's sure another harem, why not? But yeah, definitely not I'm not super excited for it, but we'll see.
But you love your tsundere, so she should work perfectly for you.
There's two different types of tsunderes. There is honestly the main heroine of a harem show tsundere, like Amagami Sisters right now is a good example there. That type of character, the one that just, they hate the main character, but at some point they go, oof, and they accept them. It's not the same as a typical tsundere character that I like. It's a very different feel. Like, it's the disinterested tsundere. That's really all it is. So it's odd, and it's true. It's not the tsundere that I like. That's the weird thing. Like, I can watch Shakugan no Shana.
Yeah, I thought that you didn't like the overly aggressive ones.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't like violent ones. Yeah, for sure. Like, if they're super violent.
And honestly,
I got that out of my system with Shauna and Familiar Zero and all those ones.
If I'm being honest, this type seems like that kind.
Yeah, she just doesn't.
My joke was there, but
the tsundere is like she just doesn't want to accept him.
Yeah, she seems like this overly aggressive. I really.
I mean, she's cute. I'm not.
She is cute.
I'm not saying she's horrible. I'm just saying it's just that character. Like, it was just like, I mean, yes, we just literally said it's the Gyaru character. Yeah, that's just that character too. It's just, do I care? I don't know. Just nothing's exciting me is all. It's really it is. So.
Hopefully we'll get some ecchi. We got some temptation for sure.
Yeah, there is definitely. I'm getting married to the girl I hate in my class. We'll see. All right, the second show technically that I'm pretty jazzed for, Chris. The Ria Takahashi show is coming, Chris. We finally, after so long of them given no respect, we're finally going to show the guild receptionist the respect they deserve and give her an entire show to herself. I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. Mm-hmm. Or guild no ukitsu kitjo desu ka zangyo wa iya nanode boss wo solo tobatsu shiyo to omoimasu. This one is Alina Clover. Signed up to be a receptionist for the guild, the Adventurers Guild, thinking it would be a ticket to a good life, stable pay, regular hours, and safe working conditions. Unfortunately, her dream gig turns into a nightmare of endless paperwork and overtime whenever the adventurers she's helped coordinate get stuck clearing a dungeon. But people aren't made to grind forever, so Alina sneaks off at night to give the monsters holding things up a beatdown, courtesy of her massive warhammer. Keeping this all under wraps to avoid violating her office's ban on second jobs is difficult, especially when the tales of her exploits start to spread, but Alina somehow manages to keep her identity safe until the leader of the strongest party in the guild catches her defeat a boss one fateful night. Does Alina have what it takes to stop her life from going topsy-turvy? Here's a surprise, Chris.
I'm absolutely totally on board with this one.
What on a scale from 0 to 10, what do you put the visuals and animation? I mean, you got CGI dragon. I'm about there. Like, it's not bad. It's about a 6-7. Cloverworks. This is Cloverworks. I've double and triple checked it. This is apparently Cloverworks. That shocks me. That doesn't look like Cloverworks quality. Like, is this a side gig? Like, is this is this like it's under their studio, but they're outsourcing it out while they're working on something? It doesn't look Cloverworks. I mean, again, it doesn't look bad. I don't like the CGI dragon, but that's unfortunately way too common.
CGI, that we tend to kind of frown on that a little bit.
We always frown on the CGI dragons. I would have never guessed. If you stuck this trailer in front of me and said, which studio do you think this is? Do you think this is a high-tier studio? Do you think this is a... I mean, Cloverworks isn't, like, Ufotable, but they're... Like, if Ufotable is S-tier, Kyoto Animation's S-tier, Cloverworks has always been, like, A, B+ at the least. Like, was it, like, Dress Up Darling? Shoot, Akabe Sailor Uniform? Like... This is a great studio. Like, when's the last time they made something that wasn't good? Like, yeah, you can say Elusive Samurai had some... No, Elusive Samurai like, overall was great, besides the CGI horse tournament thing they did, which was woof. Like, Windbreakers did not look bad. Spy Family... I didn't watch Unite Up, but I think the trailers look good on that one. Shadow House... Kunoichi Tsubaki, like this studio is again A tier. What happened? It has to be a side. It has to be something. They're probably working on something else right now, and this is like a side thing. I don't get it. Anyway, sorry. Your thoughts? Went on my little animation rant.
Well, this one is basically, like I said earlier, concept alone, I'm absolutely thrilled about this idea. So I absolutely love the concept. I really, really want to watch it. This one I'm highly excited for you.
The unfortunate thing is you don't get to hear the other part of it that's so great is the Ryo Takahashi voice acting. So, yeah, I love Ryo Takahashi, and so to have a show where she's, it seems like she's a majority of the show itself because she's the main character, obviously, but it seems like her focus in trying to do things covertly so you can get a lot of her attention is great. But no, I've been excited for this one ever since it was announced because I just love the concept. Like I said before, I've like typically with all these shows when they have obviously fantasy setting with an adventure guild or something, there's isekai. I always like those guild receptionists. They're always super cute. They don't get much time in front of the screen. They always have a thing for the main character, but they just don't get the love and attention that they deserve. And to finally have a show where it's like focused on her. Granted, she's not. Let's be honest. It doesn't seem like it's probably gonna be that much focus on her being a guild receptionist. It's probably just a. It's probably just a
She's
show
super
about
overpowered and
it's a show about an adventure a party member that just goes on the other side of the counter whenever she's in the room. Like she's still gonna be adventuring. The concept sounds funny. I like what it says. They're getting caught. It looks like she's kind of interrogating somebody. I'm guessing that's the guy that catches her, and she's probably gonna have to, I don't know, blackmail him or something to keep him shut up. I'm looking forward to it. Plus, I have a thing for girls with massive weapons, cute girls with massive weapons. So there's another plus there as well. Like everything's, besides being a little bit unfortunate that it's not to Cloverworks standards, I'm still going to really enjoy it. It's still, like I said, it doesn't look bad. So a lot of action stills too. What's the season of action stills, man? I may be Gillis Receptionist, but I'll soul any boss to check out on time. I'm super excited. All right, let's get to another rom-com, Chris. Medaka Kuroiwa is impervious to my charms. Kuroiwa Madoka. I always want to say Madoka. Medaka ni watashi no kawaii ga sujinai. This one is Mona is the cutest girl in school, and she knows it. In fact, she's worked hard to make her high school debut successful. But no matter what she does, she can't seem to catch the eye of the stone-cold stoic Medaka Kuroiwa. But she's not about to give up easy. Medaka, on the other hand, has been raised at a temple and was told to never come close to women. Who will win in this heated battle of wills? Studio is Synergy SP. Sources of manga. Genres are comedy, ecchi, and romance. And this one, the series composition was done by the person that worked on Do It Yourself and Reincarnated as a Slime. So decent comp writer there. So, what are you thinking, Chris? Are you sold? Do you think that she is super kawaii?
She is.
She does a nekonyan thing. Like, what's not to like about a girl that does a nekonyan thing? I made a joke on my video that this is like a future OnlyFans girl. She's so in love with herself. She's so super cute. She's gonna get everybody's. Oh yeah, she's gonna either be a streamer or an OnlyFans girl. Gonna sell those cuteness. Yeah, I was not really invested in this one. Like, I legit, when I watched the PV the first time, I was like, I don't really. It's gonna be the whole thing where she's trying to get his attention, and he's like, no, I don't care. And then she's kind of keep pushing, and then, oh yeah, secretly he actually does think she's super cute. Okay, it's Kaguya-sama Love is War. Whatever. I'll go watch Kaguya-sama Love is War again. I don't know. And then I read the synopsis, and I'm like, okay, cool. I guess it makes sense. The idea the guy just legit can't. He's told he can't. Don't touch that. So maybe that will make it fun. I don't know.
I'm gonna give it a shot based on the idea that it feels like it could be kind of a teasing girl, but if it doesn't pan out in that, I don't know that I'm gonna follow it very long. I mean, the character artwork is okay.
Yeah, I'm mixed on it. Very mixed.
But concept wise, unless it goes teasing girl, I don't know that I'll be following it for very long.
I think the thing that kind of is my hang-up is I'm going to really hope that she's a likable character, because just based on the synopsis, she's not a likable character. She's just in love with herself and wants everybody to be in love with her. It's like she's legit, like, right now with this season having, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name on Danadon. She's like, I am the Bishoujo girl, and everybody, I'm a blessing to everybody, so I got to make sure that everybody sees me. Airi. We'll see. Yeah, she definitely has some cute poses though. I've never touched OnlyFans, but I would get her OnlyFans if she wanted me to. Be in the class and she's like, I have an OnlyFans. Okay, girl, I was fine. Very safe for work OnlyFans people. It says safe for work OnlyFans. Those exist, right? I'm pretty sure that they used to not be that bad as they are now. Anyways, Medaka Kuroiwa is Impervious to my charms. We'll see. It's time to talk about the elephant in the room. The show that legit is the elephant in the room of the next season. The winter 2025 elephant in the room. ZENSHU. After graduating from high school, Natsuko Hirose starts her career as an animator. Her talents quickly flourish, and she makes her debut as a director in no time. Wow, just at that age. That happens all the time in the anime industry. People becoming directors by the time they're like 20. Whatever, it's fake. It's fiction, Andrew. Let it be. Because so many people become directors that fast in the anime industry. Most directors end up like in their 50s before they become directors. I'm joking. There's some young directors. Anyways, her first anime becomes a massive hit, sparking a social phenomenon and earning her recognition as an up-and-coming genius director. Her next project is set to be a romantic comedy movie themed around first love. However, having never been in love herself, Natsuko struggles to understand the concept of first love, and as a result, she is unable to create the storyboards, causing the movie production to come to a standstill. That's the other thing. It's like, why would she be making a romantic comedy? Like, she would make whatever if she's doing the storyboards and everything, she's going to do the story that she wants to do. Like, somebody told her you're doing a romantic comedy. Like, she's supposed to be the successful, like, breakout hit director. Hey, you have to write a romantic comedy. Anyways, stop picking on Andrew. Studio is MAPPA, which is the joke. And source is original. The genres are comedy, romance. The director working on it worked on Sleepy Princess and Monthly Girl Nozaki-kun, so he's pretty solid there. It's going to be streaming on Crunchyroll. What are you thinking, Chris? I guess I can get this out of the way. The person doing the writing is Kumiko Ueno, who is known for 2 projects, having created and wrote it. Yuri Deko and Eden. I discovered this literally live on stream one day, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to be a good show. Everybody's like focused on the idea of MAPPA's making an original about the anime industry, and thus
I don't think it doesn't feel like that's what they're going for.
No, it's not. It looks like a trapped in your fantasy world learning about love type of story. I don't know if it's going to be like it's definitely not going to be a Shirobako, that's for sure. But I think it's going to be mostly around discovering love while everybody's yelling at you that they need to get something done.
When it first started out, it looked absolutely amazing. That first little clip looked just fantastic. And then I don't know, it just kind of feels off. And then eventually it just I'm really bothered by her hair. I don't know why I'm bothered by her hair so much.
And the Sadako thing, what was it called? Sadako? The horror thing. They're doing that thing.
Yeah, doing the ring thing.
I never cared about it.
It's
an overplayed joke that I've never really cared for.
This one just is not working for me in any way. I don't know why it just like this part looks fantastic.
You don't like it when it's in the fantasy world? That's supposed to be. I'm guessing it's going to be her breakout hit show is the fantasy setting, and like I said, she's getting sucked back into it to learn about love through it. Or it could possibly be something that inspired her because it keeps showing her really young, and I'm wondering if it's just an old anime that she fell in love with animation through, and so she's getting sucked back into that old anime that inspired her to learn about love. Like, she learned what she learned about directing and everything through, like, studying this old anime that she fell in love with. And now that she has to learn about romance, she's going back into that world again. Because it's purposely looking like an old, like, 90s anime fantasy show or something like that. It's a little bit of clash.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to make it perfectly clear because I know this is, like, an ongoing, like, misinformation that people have. This is not a MAPPA produced show. This is not MAPPA's show. MAPPA has nothing to do with the production on ZENSHU. This is literally they're being told to make this thing. I don't know why people assume that it's got to be a MAPPA production. I guess because they did Chainsaw Man that one time, but even that wasn't their property. My concern that I have with this show is, like I joked about earlier, I don't think Kimiko Ueno is a good writer. I think Eden is okay. It was an okay. It's a very short. I think it was like a 3 or so episode, little short CGI anime they had on Netflix at some point. It was okay. It just was a post-apocalyptic. This is society. Robots are all taking control, and oh man, a human shows up, and the robots are taking care of the human. It was a very, very safe and overtold story concept, but it was okay. I think visually it looked good, but it was a CGI show. Good for CGI. Yuri Deko opened up with a good concept, bored me out of my mind. I dropped it because it was so freaking boring. And so I don't have much hope for her in the writing of this. The PBs look good. Yeah, again, I don't care much for her design. I think the whole ring thing is just totally overplayed, but at the same time, I think it's an interesting concept. I'm assuming it based on the fact that with what she did with Eden, and yes, I even seen a bit of it in Yuri Deko. She likes safe stories. Take a concept that has been done before, that is very simple concept, and do it. So that drives me to believe that all my preconceptions I have for ZENSHU will come to fruition. Like I said earlier, it's probably going to be her, not knowing romance and having to make these storyboards, and then she's going to go back into the story of her, what inspired her, and through the characters of that story, which went through hardships and romances, she's going to learn about romance through them, and then she's going to come back and she'd write everything, and then everybody's like, oh my gosh, Sugoi, she wrote the story. That could actually open up an interesting, and again, I don't expect her to do this because, again, I think that her writing always keeps very safe and simple. It could go an interesting concept in the idea of her eventually running into, yes, you're copying somebody else's concept here, and thus it's not going to be fresh enough, but we'll see. I think it looks really good. It's MAPPA work, so they're going to be, it's going to obviously look good, but I have, unfortunately, no expectations for the storytelling, the writing. I know that a lot of people were excited about this, and again, the moment I noticed who was actually working on it, I'm like, I don't think it's going to be good. I even clipped it. When I said that on the live stream, I clipped it and I put it on the Discord. I think it's pinned in the general. It's pinned in one of the channels. I told everybody you can pin this. or I'm going to pin this right now. I'm calling it right now. This is going to be a show that's going to not have a great story or something like that. But anyways, we'll see though. We'll see though. I want it to be good. I'm going to come into it with expectations it's not going to be good. It'll be okay. And hopefully it'll be totally blown away. So, ZENSHU. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's get into some dark fantasy, Chris, with some Ubel Blatt. Which I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's okay. I'm American. I can mess up people's names. I'm American. I'm allowed. Rumors, I don't know where I came from. I don't know. I've never heard that before. I just made it up. Rumors stir throughout the land when the wielder of the black sword draws his dark blade. All who stand in its path are torn asunder. Coinzel, I'm guessing his name is. I'm sorry for all those in that language. Coinzel, the mysterious young boy who carries the black sword, undeniably wields it with exceptional skill. But can he truly be responsible for the bloody rumors pursued by the traitorous lances? Warriors who were thought to have been defeated by the seven heroes. The strength of the young swordsman will be tested to its limit. At battle's end, only the shocking truth of Coinzel's quest can stand above the corpses of his enemy. An epic fantasy on the grandest scales. Studio is Satellite and Staple Entertainment. The sources of manga, the genres are action, adventure, drama, ecchi, fantasy. Director worked on Vermilion Gold and Tale of Wedding Rings, so I guess they'll handle the ecchi. Series composition writer worked on Faraway Paladin and World's End Harem, so they have a mix of ecchi and fantasy, at least. But yeah, and this was going to be on Amazon, if I remember correctly. I think I seen a post that said that Amazon Prime will be doing this worldwide. I don't know if anybody else will have it, but I think it said exclusive, so this will be our Amazon Prime show. They get like one show a season now for some reason. I wish they would be a little bit more aggressive so they can at least have an offering, not just one show a season. It is what it is. What do you think, Chris? Are you ready for a solid dark fantasy show?
I would love a solid dark fantasy. Are we gonna pull it off with this one? That's the bigger question. But hey, I'll always go for some ecchi. So maybe that's what we'll get out of this one. But it doesn't feel like an ecchi show. So
yeah, my experience with the manga, because I think when we first heard this announced, I was pretty interested in the art style of it, so I went and looked up the manga back then, and I was not I was not putting much expectations in the show because what I got from the manga was at least there's like a 0 chapters, and it is super like adult, like just full on going at it scenes over and over again, and then just crazy like massive violence. And then it goes into what I think this starts into is like the beginning chapters, like the actual chapter 1, because everything in the trailer looks like it's from that segment on, so none of that crazy hardcore stuff before then. And so getting into that stuff, it kind of tones down a little bit, but you'll have like the shredded off clothes or whatever. So it wasn't really giving me an impression after that point that it's an ecchi. Like it just becomes extremely violent. It's just all about him fighting people and then just blood everywhere. And even with the trailer, I don't see even the violence in it. So I'm like, I don't know this is going to pull off this story at all if it's not going to be like gory and just straight up, not really holding anything back. Like a true on crazy dark fantasy with just full on blood. I have a caution there. Now, it could just because it's trailer. Maybe the actual broadcast will be more gritty with what it's showing, but I don't know. I don't know at this point. Satellite and Staple Entertainment aren't like crazy good studios, so I don't really have much hope there either. It looks like a lot of action stills and whatnot. I want it to be good. I really want it to be good. I want a really solid fantasy show like this to come out, but I don't want to get my hopes up, I guess is where I'm sitting on with it. It's in my list of most anticipated for the season, but I don't want to get my hopes up at all with it. And I'm curious if the story is going to be comprehensible without those beginning segments. Because, I mean, it's mostly, I think, pre-stuff. I think it's prequel stuff. The story kind of opens up, and again, with those beginning chapters with, like, again, like, sort of like the message you get for the synopsis here is the idea of he's somebody with a past. And I think the story is telling the past as it goes along, kind of thing. So that's the other question mark, is if the studio is going to do a proper adaptation and not get it muddied up, or how well that story is told as it goes along. We'll see. It's Ubel Blatt. We'll see. I'm sure that most people won't see it because it's going to be on Amazon, but that comes, unfortunately, with the territory of Amazon shows now. Can you keep a secret? Kono kaisha ni suki na hito ga imasu. This one is Yui Mitsuya, and Masugu Tateishi aren't just any coworkers. They totally have the hots for each other. His helpful yet humble attitude makes her giddy, and her cuteness leaves him grinning like a fool. Problem is, they're trying to keep their new relationship under wraps to avoid making this awkward at the workplace. But seeing how they can't keep their hands off of each other, they run the risk of spilling the little secret at each passing day at the office. Stu is Blade. The source is a manga, and the genres are comedy, romance, slice of life. Series composition writer worked on ReZero, Machine, and Rascals Does Not Dream. So, good team. At least a good series composition writer for sure. But what do you think of, Chris, for the show about keeping a secret because they got the hots for each other?
Cute slice of life. I can do.
The trailer feels like it's literally the whole show. If this is the same trailer I watched, it's like, I think I just watched the whole show.
Yeah, it feels like it should be a short.
You think it'll be a short? It hasn't been listed yet as a short, but I don't know. I think it's a full-on thing. I'm super mixed on this one, honestly. It's like it looks like the trailer has them actually, they going after it. But there's also a lot of the trailer that gives me that feeling of like, okay, yeah, I want this. I want a show about adults in a romantic relationship, and they're not afraid of doing it or something, like, let's be mature adults. But then there's so much of the trailer that gives me that feel of like it's set as adults in adult setting, but they're still acting like middle schoolers. That's my concern. Is it going to be too much of that? Even though they're in a relationship and they're going after it, they constantly act like they're 12 years old. That's my concern. And now it could be a lot of that flusteredness is just the embarrassment of those around them, but a lot of it kind of makes me feel like the whole Doki Doki, what's this feeling? Oh no, we're too close. We just touched hands. Like they're in an adult relationship and they touch hands and they start going Doki Doki, which I get. I hate running into that kind of stuff a lot of the time. So,
like I said, the slice of life thing that I can definitely go for that. It feels warm and inviting. I think I could go for it.
I think he can go for it. He's gonna go for it. Can you keep a secret? Can you keep a secret? All right, Chris. It's time for the return of Yuri on Ice. After a word from our sponsors. Medalist, Tsukasa, who's the show's called Medalist. The synopsis is Tsukasa, whose dreams were crushed. Inori left to fend for herself. These two share a dream, and the tenacity may be the only thing that sees them through their destination.
Are they really going to do Yuri on Ice? Yuri on Ice?
Maybe.
See what I did there?
Yeah, that was the joke. The ice on the world stage. I'm kind of curious about that second sentence. It's being done by ENGI, the sources of manga. The genres are drama, psychological, and sports. I'm wondering if it's legit, because it says that she's left to fend for herself. I wonder if she's legit, like, abandoned. Doubt that, right? It could be. The series composition writer worked on Saniphonium, Bokuyawa, Girls Band Cry. The director worked on Ahead-san and Servant X Service. Man, it's going back. I guess it's not that old. I love Cybernetic Service. Yeah, what are you thinking, Chris? The CGI is not terrible. It's not terrible.
Very high chance that I will give this one a shot. Sports shows I'm hit and miss on, so I tend to kind of skip over them at first. This one being Lolly's on it, I think that it could be fun. And I do like ice skating, so maybe might give them a shot. So we'll see what happens here, but I'm definitely probably going to give it a shot for sure.
Probably definitely going to give it maybe a definitely for sure possibly a shot. If I remember correctly, this is another one that I think I've heard a lot of positivity around the source material. Yeah, it's got like an 8.53 on Mal, the manga, so it looks like people like the manga, the source material. So I mean, it's not like a whole bunch of people on it, but I think based on the positivity around the source material, I know when it first got announced, people were kind of going crazy over it. I have a high expectations for it. Like, and I said it before that I don't expect it to be hand-drawn 2D animation. Like, even with Yuri on Ice, as much as that was being like touted as being like the greatest thing ever, even that had a lot of reused animation. Figure skating is very difficult to animate.
Yeah.
Big shocker, right? So I kind of expect to have the CGI. Hopefully, at least has a lot of more kind of dramatic points throughout the performance. Will still be hand done, even if it has to be an action still. I'm having some high expectations for this one. I wasn't expecting to see a psychological tag for it. I wonder if the source material has that as well, which may lean it towards the idea of it being. Yeah, see, the manga does not have psychological. I'm questioning if that's supposed to be on there.
I think they're just throwing it around because they can.
Yeah, I'm not going to expect it to be actually psychological. I'm going to expect it to be sports drama. Even then, I'm hoping the drama beats around the characters themselves will be really solid, and her journey to be a really solid one as well. Either way, we'll see. This is another one that's going to be on my most anticipated for the season, so I'm excited for it. Medalist. All right, let's get into some fun. Lollies on Ice. Yeah, I'm hoping that she like gets with like the tsundere looking girl and it just ends up being legit Yuri on Ice. That was my joke that I get on my video. I'm like, we have actual Yuri on Ice. No, this guy's named Yuri and that's the joke. No, it's actual Yuri. Because you all faked me out when Yuri on Ice came out. I'm like, this is not Yuri. His name is Yuri. No, we're gonna have some actual Yuri. They'll start doing, competitions with them paired up, and then just bam, Yuri happens. Anyways, that's the second season of Medalist. it's got the character's got to develop a little bit more, and then we get into that whole route. Anyways, let's move on to some cutesy fun. Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf, or Nihon I Yokoso Elfasanu. This one is Kazuhiro Kitase. His only hobby is sleeping. Ever since he was young, he would enter a wondrous world within his dreams and go on thrilling adventures. One day, he goes on an adventure with an elf girl he became friends with in his dream world, but it's put to abrupt halt when they both get scorched with a dragon's breath. As he awakens from his dream, he notices a familiar face sleeping next to him. The elf girl from his dreams. Why couldn't that have happened with freaking Uncle Uncle from Another World? That should have happened with that damn show. Anyways, he noticed the familiar face next to him. The elf girl from his dreams. Joined Kazuhiro on his new adventures through Japan with Miss Elf. So it's a reverse isekai through dreams. They got dragon cooned. They got dragon breath cooned. Studio Zero G. Source is a light novel. Genres are comedy, fantasy, romance, slice of life.
I'm gonna give you a warning, Andy.
What?
It looks like it's gonna be a food porn show.
Yeah, sort of. That comes that whole the reverse isekais always go that whole route. It's going to Akihabara. It's the food. It's going shopping. It's technology. The usual the usual rundown that you do with the verse guys. It's like the Gate show. Like we have to have a whole episode where they go into the other world and all the niceties. It's everything that we take for granted in our world. They discover it. Mm-hmm. That's really what it is. So what are you thinking? It's literally like I was giving my first impressions was it's a Otaku elf, but she actually leaves the house. It's the other girls from Otaku Elf, the ones that actually go outside.
Maybe. I by all accounts, this one is one of those that should work for me. I'll definitely I'll definitely watch it for sure.
You'll definitely probably maybe for sure.
Yeah, I almost said definitely maybe possibly.
That's his new
probably
thing.
Could possibly.
That's gonna be literally the title of the video. Is the shows that we probably maybe possibly for sure watch.
But yeah, I'll definitely watch it. Give it a shot. It looks like it should work for me. That's yeah.
It seems like a growing trend of elf girl shows. Like, it seems like lately we're getting a lot of elf girls, main focus heroine girls. Seem to be I don't know, for people that like the elf girls, it seems to be a good trend. They're gonna bring the Oni over too, huh?
It looks like the dragon girl is coming over too.
Oh, is she the dragon that flamed him?
Probably.
Chris is just gonna immediately blame her. I'm asking if it's legit. He's like, yeah, probably her. Like, what did she do to you, Chris? Anyways, welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. I'm gonna watch it, but I probably won't stick with it. It just doesn't seem like it's gonna be amongst. It's gonna be one of those ones where because there's too much crap, I can't. I don't have time. Next one we have Tangirl Show. Okitsura. Okinawa de Suki ni natta ko ga hogen sugite sura sugiru. I, Teruaki Nakamura, transferred to a school in Okinawa and developed a crush on a girl named Kion-san, but I don't understand her dialect. Higa-san is always helping me by translating the dialect. A slightly different cultural love starts on the southern island. It's being done by Milipenzi. Sorry.
Yeah, you can see it all through it.
It's already picking up on it. It's like it's a cursed name. The moment you read, see, hear Milipenzi, your body starts to contort itself and you kind of collapse in on yourself. Sources of manga, genres are comedy, romance, and the director that works on this is basically Milipenzi. He's the director that always works on everything. Milipenzi, they're just
they have a hermit crab.
They're connected, so you collapse on yourself when you hear his name, which is Shin Itakaki.
You missed the hermit crab.
I hate life when I see this show because it's like everything about this show is me. I want it. I think it should be the greatest thing ever. The character designs are fantastic. I love the characters. I want this to work so bad. It's a show about tangirls with dialects, and they sound cute. But it's Milipenzi and this crappy director that destroys everything they touch, and I'm sick of it. Yeah, but for those who don't know, Milipenzi, they've destroyed Spider So What. They've destroyed. I don't know that you can destroy cheat skill. That was already destroyed to begin with, but they destroyed that franchise. They mostly destroyed Copcraft. Oh yeah, by the way, you remember Berserk? That series that's literally like one of the legendary series of all time, and then they decided to make a season 2. That was Milipenzi. They destroy everything they touch, and this show, it barely moves is really my only problem. I mean, again, they still look cute, and I'm hoping that at least it shouldn't require much animation. This isn't an action show, so hopefully it should still work as a rom-com.
There it is. The hermit crab.
Kani.
There's the occasional movement. I agree with Andrew. The characters look cute. I like the concept.
It's like
of
Nagatoro.
Yeah, it looks like I'm not Nagatoro. I mean that looks garbage. I'm sorry.
It's just the stills. It's like one of those I don't know, like a crosswalk standee that has the arms that are rotating whenever it's time to move. Doot, 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 doot.
You forgot your leg. You gotta get the leg in there too.
Ah.
You probably fall off your chair.
I want it to work so bad. Now, here's the interesting thing, and this could actually turn it into an interesting romance. I'm assuming the younger looking one, the cutesy one, I'm assuming she's the one that has the dialect that he can't understand. That was his initial, I fell in love with her because she's so Genki and cute. And the other girl is the one that's always kind of helping him out. She looks like she's the more quiet type, more mature looking one. What I'm getting an impression of from the PV is that his first love is the cutesy one, the Genki one. But then through the other one helping him out, she's in love with him, but she knows that he's in love with her. So it is a love triangle thing, or the whole like assist, even though you like the person, unrequited love type of thing. And I'm curious if it'll eventually kind of turn the idea that he eventually realizes how important she is and falls in love with her. It kind of gives me a feeling that the Genki girl is in love with somebody else, like she has somebody that she admires or something, a fisherman or something. I think that would be cute, because I like the other girl, too. I think she's super cute, too. The, Higa.
Blondie.
Higa looks super cute. Yeah, she looks more gyaru. Or she can end up being turned down and be crying, and I'll hate the show. I'm going to hate the show anyway, because Penzi. Again, my hope again here is that the dialect, that too. the characters themselves, their dialogue, their chemistry carries it, and that the studio can at least hold it together enough that it's not too much of an annoyance that the animation's not going to be there. But I don't know. I'm still excited for it. What are you thinking, Chris? What are you thinking?
I already said. I'm not really don't like the way it looks. Concept maybe. I'm not holding out hope on this one at all. There's the hermit crab.
Penzi, just stop touching things. Just stop touching things.
The only thing I've got to say about this PV is there's a hermit crab.
That's Okitsura. I'm tan girl, best girl. All right, let's move on to probably the biggest surprise of the season for me. Like I usually do with every season, I look through all the people that are working on the project, who's behind them and everything, and this is the one that actually surprised me the most out of everything. This one's called Flower and Asura, or Hana wa Saku Shura no Gotoku. This one is Hana it's a coming-of-age tale set... It has the stupid title in the synopsis, I'm sorry. It's a coming-of-age tale set on Tonoru Island, a small island with a population of 600 people. In this setting, Hana Haruyama is a first-year high school student who loves to recite works of literature aloud. One day, she is invited by second-year student Mizuki Usurai to join the school's broadcasting club because Mizuki believes that Hana's reading has the... How do I say it's reading? Her reading... if you want to call it reading... has the power to attract people's attention. Studio that is working on this is Studio Bind, of course known from like Mushoku Tensei and Onimai. Sources of manga, genres are drama and slice of life. Director did some episode work with Mushoku Tensei, Onimai, and Akiba Maid War. Series composition writer worked on Shangri-La Frontier and 'Tis Time for Torture Princess. Now here's the shocker. Because I was like, okay, Studio Bind's working on a show that apparently is not going to be controversial once. That's interesting. Because I was dead set on the idea that Studio Binds was going to be the studio of uncomfortable truths. Like everything they do is going to be like things that shouldn't be adapted. Like you ask a common person on social media, they'll say these should not exist type of shows. And then this comes out and I'm like, oh, it's a normal slice of life show. Wow. I guess they decided, hey, let's not be controversial for like 2 months, please. But anyways, but I was like, okay, nothing's grabbing me. It just looks like a very kind of standard slice of life, girls going to inspire people. They inspire each other. Doki Dokis possibly happen. Maybe it looks like a little bit of sense of Yuri in there somewhere. Then I seen the creator. Creator behind this series is the creator of Sound Euphonium.
Oh, really?
Attention, you have it. My attention has been gotten.
Yeah.
You now have my full attention. Let's go. So yeah, not that Studio Bind is always incredible. The trailer looks fine. It doesn't look like they're trying to push the boundaries of art or anything like that. It looks decently good. So it's gonna look good, and it's got a really, really talented writer behind it. I have my issues with early season 1 Sound Euphonium, but I've loved this franchise ever since the second season, all the way till its end. So I'm pretty pumped for this one. This is easily, besides the Returner shows, this is easily my top most anticipated show of the season coming up.
Definitely has my interest for sure. Mentioning Sound Euphonium definitely catches my attention for sure. To see that that writer on something other than that, just a different story. I agree with you. Obviously it does have a feel of being kind of Yuri for sure, and that would make sense based on Sound Euphonium for sure. So definitely has my attention. I'll see if I can't catch this one in.
The writer loves baiting the Yuri. That is the
definitely.
true thing there. If you do not like Yuri bait, you're probably not going to like this show. You're probably going to get that same feel there. Yeah, now I will admit, like, the concept of the show itself, I'm not too big on. Like, it seems like, again, it's they're a broadcasting club, and it gives, like, the impression that they're all, like, I guess, doing, like a radio drama on the broadcast or something like that. Like, they're all doing, like, their lines and everything. So I don't know if that's going to be an interesting concept there. So I'm guessing it'll probably mostly rely on the characters and their chemistry and the drama that goes around them, which, again, besides the first season with the melodrama, the first season of Sound Euphonium, this writer's really good at that stuff. Really good at that stuff. So hopes are way up there. Flower and Asura. Let's move on to a fantasy show. Possibly the greatest alchemist of all time, or Izure Saikyo no Renkenjutsushi. Question mark? There's a question mark at the end there. Not used to question marks in Japanese titles. Not even a hero, Takumi Izuma gets accidentally mixed in with a group of heroes chosen to be summoned to another world. As compensation for a mix-up, a goddess offers him the right to choose any skill he wishes for, hoping for a peaceful and quiet life that has nothing to do with fighting or going into battle. He chooses a seemingly boring creation skill. However, it turns out alchemy is the most powerful skill that allows him to create everything from holy sword to flying ships. This creation skill he unexpectedly acquires turns him into a wealthy merchant and makes him undefeatable in battles. Big shock. A heartwarming adventure story about possibly the most powerful alchemists in another world. I detest synopsises where it's like, guy gets the most weakest and he's most OP. You know this. You know at some point the synopsis is going to say, but it's actually incredible. It's like, I just have to imagine that somewhere in Japan, there's this expectation that when you're, looking through the synopsis list or you're looking at the back of the books and it goes, but it turns out I want to buy this book. Like, is that literally a thing where they go, yes, he becomes more powerful. I got to buy this book. I got it. Power fantasy.
I think it's more along the lines of
the tried and true formula.
No, I think it's more along the lines of people just going, I really like the class alchemy in I don't know, Final Fantasy or something like that, and so they just gravitate towards going through the shelf and they see Alchemist, and so they just grab the Alchemist book.
What? But what was the whole getting overpowered part of it? That's what I'm talking about.
Because it's like a fan club. I love this particular class, and so everybody's drawn to that, and so they just build it up as much as possible.
Studio Comet, the source of this light novel. If you would, I know, shocker. Genres are adventure, fantasy, and the series composition worked on Rent a Girlfriend and Eden Zero. Cool stuff there. Yeah, I shrug. Are you?
Oh, definitely. I love the. I'm not necessarily do I love the Alchemist job. I just love the concept, and I definitely am going to probably have fun with it. A builder type character, so possibly.
Go. Build a harem, build a house, build the foods. Everybody likes him because he builds the cool stuff. Possibly the greatest alchemist of all time. I'll check it out, but I have zero expectations for me. Beheneko, Chris. Here's something I do have some expectations for, and that is some Beheneko. Beheneko, the elf girl's cat, is secretly an S-rank monster. S-rank monster no behemoth dakero neko to machigawarete elf musume no pet to shite kurashimatsu. This one is nobody asked to be a cat. After dying in a fight against the forces of evil, a knight is shocked to discover that instead of being reborn as a hero of humanity, he starts his new life as a behemoth, one of the most powerful monsters in the world. The only problem is that the baby behemoth looks an awful lot like an adorable house cat. Things grow even more confusing when a beautiful elf adventurer rescues him from the brink of death rather than finishing him off. This house cat slashing knight's baffling journey is just getting started. And then he hides in the mountains for the next 12 episodes. Zero G's working on it. Saber works as well. The source of the light novel. The genres are action, adventure, comedy, ecchi, fantasy. Director worked on Buchigiri and Grimoire of Zero. Series composition writer worked on Eminence in Shadow. And it'll be streaming on High Dive, thankfully. Which means we might possibly actually get the uncensored version. Because, yeah, this is one of those ones that's going to have, like, 3 different versions, I think. So I think it's only, like, 2, actually. I think it's, like, a Steam and Steamless one or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it has plenty of excuses to get the girls as scantily clad as possible.
That's the joke. He's going to be hanging out between the mounds all the time. And he's the entire time going to probably go, oh no, I'm in the mounds. And then they got to get to the mounds again. And they go, oh no, it's a different set of mounds. Oh no, what I do? I'm in the mounds. And oh no, it's literally like, it reminds me of like a fantasy Unikai-san's dog. Like, that's literally the gist I'm getting of it. Just instead of a bunch of girls assaulting tables, it's going to be cat girl, blacksmith girl, and the crazy psychotic Amazon chick, and then the elf Opie chick. So there you go.
Anyway, looks fun. Lots of excuses to get ecchi. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna expect nothing from this besides the ecchi. I don't know. I don't think I've really heard anything about this story whatsoever. If it's gonna be good at all, I'm assuming it's probably gonna turn one of those elements where, you know, she saves him and then he's like, oh crap, she's gonna take me in the bath now. No. And I'm assuming they're gonna go out on adventures together. It does give a sense of like him helping her out in combat and everything. And I'm assuming he's gonna probably save her life at some point, and then she's gonna be like super doki doki for him because I guess she's into cats. I don't know, but we'll see. I have zero expectations for it, hoping to be surprised, and I'm curious when High Dive will get it, because this one is an Abema exclusive for the premiere, which is going to be premiere like late this month, like I think the 28th. And I'm assuming they're going to have a week exclusivity, and then I think High Dive will get it after that. So I might watch it early on a Beema, but we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. It's probably gonna have a weird schedule release, and hopefully again High Dive gets the good version. I don't think they've said yet. My hope is they will. Beheneko, some ecchi elf girls, cat girls. Looking forward to it. Let's go from fluffy, fun, ecchi fun to possibly ecchi, but then gruesome suffering. The gruesome suffering of Grisaia, Chris. It's back. Yay. Grisaia Phantom Trigger. Several years after the Fruit of Grisaia, what was once Mihama Academy, a sanctuary for young girls, I don't think it was that, has now been transformed into SWORD, Special Organization for Research and Development, training school dedicated to fostering talent for national defense. Rena and Maki specialize in firearms. Toka and Gumi excel at sniping. Chris handles explosives and data processing. And Murasaki is a skilled ninja for intelligence operations. It's intelligent one too. Together, they take on cases too complex for the police and self-defense force, repeatedly facing dangerous missions. This is a story of these young girls painted in blood and gunpowder. Studio is Boobery Animation Studios, of course, because it's a front wing property. Genres are action based on a visual novel. And the director worked on Tawawa on Mondays and Konojo X Konojo, so you know they're going to have the best quality in certain places. Character design, of course, is Akio Watanabe, who did designs for like Monogatari series and Grisaia. And this will be streaming on the Crunchy Rolls. So there you go. Did you ever watch Grisaia?
Yes, the first one.
Just the first season?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch later?
I see all kinds of Monogatari all through this.
Yeah. It's got Akio. It's got the Akios, man. Akio Watanabe. Right here. If I don't know where my camera is, but the Akio Watanabes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time I'm preparing myself because Front Wing's evil to its cute Grisaia girls. It will have horrific and unpleasant backstories at some point mixed in with girls with guns. I like my girls with guns. The after story, the backstory stuff is always where it gets super brutal. So I'm expecting that stuff to hurt me. I'm sure. I'm gonna assume you're not watching this.
No.
I'm gonna assume you're not watching. I'll let you know if it's not that bad. I'll let you know how. I'll give you a scale later on, Chris, so you can know if it's something you can check out. Because you want your Akio Watanabe fangirls. You like your Akio Watanabes. I know you do. I know you miss them. All right, let's jump into the magical world of some old fart reincarnated as a villain. We have from Bureaucrat to Villainess. Dad's been reincarnated. I don't know if that's the title. Is it Dad's? Is that the real? Is it the title? Literally, Dad has been reincarnated. I'm gonna say no. It can't be. Yeah, because that gives me an impression.
Definitely, an old man who is a dad is reincarnated as Villainess.
Well, I know, but that gives me an impression that the person that is titling the show is somebody that knows that their dad is reincarnated. That's the only reason I'm questioning it. Not that just an old man got reincarnated. Its dad has been reincarnated. So I don't know. Akuyaku Reijo Tensei Oji-san. It just says Oji-san, not
Oji-san.
Dad.
That's definitely not a dad.
Again, that the reason why I'm being very specific of that is that implies that the person that is the daughter or son knows about it, which may be. This is supposed to be based on him going to becoming a villainess of an Otome game, which makes me wonder if the person will be seeing them in the Otome gaming. Anyways, after a traffic accident, 52-year-old civil servant Kinza Boro, this name, Tondan Bayashi, awakens to find he's become Grace Averne, a duke's daughter, and more importantly, the villainess of an otome game, not wanting to get in the way of the happy endings of the young characters around him, Grace sets out to play the role of the villain. But whether it's due to Kinzaburu's memories of being an affectionate parent, that's probably why, affectionate parent getting in the way, or not being able to remember those pesky foreign names properly, it ends up being a lot harder than it looks. I guess that's probably why it's called Dad's-Been. It gives an emphasis on the idea that he used to be a parent, so that affects him. Aijado is a studio, sources of manga, genres are comedy, fantasy, and the search competition writer worked on Orb, or is currently working on Orb, on the movements of the Earth. So it'll be on High Dive, another High Dive show. What you thinking, Chris? This one caught me out of left field. I'm like, what the hell is this key art? And I look into it and I'm like, oh my god, it's legit some old dude. He's gonna be some old dude becoming the girl.
It could be fun. I honestly don't know. This could go either really good or go really bad. It'll really depend on if he can pull off the awkwardness and still kind of, I don't know. I don't think that they're going to have very much out of a joke out of the first couple of days or the first couple of episodes, but who knows? They could surprise me. I'll go for it for sure.
I think it can do some really good stuff with the idea of, really around the idea that he's a bureaucrat. I'm really curious how they're going to incorporate that into the whole situation. Really kind of changing your typical how they play out the scenario, because usually a lot of cases it's playing out the flags, it's playing out the characters themselves. I'm assuming he probably had a daughter that played the game, because it's talking about how he's having troubles remembering the names, or it could just be that they're foreign names and he's happened to, as a Japanese dude, trying to figure out the names themselves, and they're all, just something like French or something like that, like Japan likes to do. I'm thinking it's probably going to be that he knows the story based on a daughter having played it or something like that. And that could turn something fun as well as him remembering those situations. I'm not sure if it's ever showed him in our world at some point with a daughter or something. I think it's just mostly him being a ghost standing next to the character that he is now. It has the possibilities there of doing some really fun, unique stuff with the villainous genres, which I typically always like to give every single one of them a chance. They always seem to have something in each one of them that's actually fun. But at the same time, I'm always afraid of them having too much of what the other ones do, which is always a struggle. We'll see. Definitely an interesting take on the villainous story. From bureaucrat to villainous, Dad's been reincarnated. We'll see. All right, let's get into another OP male protagonist fantasy show. Let's go. Gets into the harem being the OP fantasy character. Even given the worthless appraiser class, I'm actually the strongest. Like, it's so funny. I'm at the point now where I'm becoming the people that get angry about isekais. There's a million isekais every season. I don't care how many isekais are in the season. Let's see what it does it. I'm just getting sick of I got the most weakness, but I'm the most overpowered. Why even bother saying it? Say that I am the most overpowered. You don't have to say I've given worthless. It's obviously not worthless. You're the strongest. You've been given the strongest appraiser class. Call it that. Anyways, it offends me, people. Fugutsu Shoku Kantaishi ga Jitsu wa Saikyo data Naraku de Kitaita Saikyo no Shingan de Muso Suru. Ein has been saddled with the job of appraiser, the weakest and least fortunate of all jobs one can be born with, as the only power it grants is the ability to appraise things. treated cruelly by all and reduced to a litter collector by his peers, Ein has grown to hate himself and lives his days in spineless self-abasement. But when he meets Yuri, the spirit of the world's tree, and her protector, Ursula, the sage, Ein's fate takes a drastic turn. With the gift of a spirit's eye, of a spirit eye, from Yuri, and the help of Ursula, and learning how to use it, Ein grows stronger and stronger until he's ready to take Yuri on her long-desired journey to meet her world's tree sister. Okay, he goes on, it's a weird little twister. He goes on to overcome all sorts of challenges, armed with his natural kindness, and his newfound courage. Anyways, studio is Okuroto Noboru, and source of light novel, of course. Genres are action, adventure. If anybody thought that was anything but a light novel, it's crazy. Action, adventure, comedy, drama, fantasy, romance is the genres. Director worked on Apartment Angel Included and Daimon. And the series composition writer is Toko Machida, who's worked on way too many things to list.
I don't know why they said that appraisal is the weakest skill. We all know that appraisal is the greatest. It's always the greatest skill.
Always.
I'll give it a shot. I'm not feeling anything super special out of this one per se. I mean, the girl is kind of cute. But I do love the idea of the appraisal skill. They tend to come up with some weird stuff to do with the appraisal. They really do.
I was expecting you to say that. Always like the appraisal. They always become the most powerful. I'm probably going to turn on the first episode and completely forget about the show for the rest of the season. My expectations, it could be good. I'm always open to be surprised, but it looks like like I said, he's gonna be super down on himself. Dude's gonna have such a rough life, and then all the waifus show up, and he's suddenly so cool and powerful.
I am curious as to what they're going to do with this particular one as far as appraisal is concerned. I mean, like I said, they come up with some weird stuff to do with the appraisal skill.
That's the given the worthless appraiser class, I'm actually the strongest. Next one we have is I left my A rank party to help my students reach the dungeon's depths. He has not, for once, he has not been banished from the heroes party. He left the heroes party. That is not heroes party, it's A rank party. A rank party wo uridasu shita ore wa moto oshiya gotachi to mekyo shinbu wo mesasu. This one is UK. That's a different name. UK, a red mage, that's a new one too, angrily declares that he's leaving Thunderpike, the A-rank party he's been with for 5 years. Man, he must be old. He's probably about ready to retire. What an old fart if he's been adventuring for 5 years. Because he's fed up with being insulted and ridiculed by the other members. While searching for a new party, he runs into his former students, Marina, Silk, and Rain. And decides to join their party. Their party called Clover. Encouraged by their admiration of him as their teacher. Oh, so that's what he's looking for. He's just looking for people to fluff him up.
Yeah,
what an egotistical main character. Holy crap. We went from guy who's had it rough and he's finally able to do things to this guy who leaves his party because he wants to get fluffed by girls. Jeez. Yuki leads them in completing several quests that show off his own extraordinary magic and skills while bringing out the girls' abilities to their fullest. That damn fly is back. The fly has awakened. It distracted me. There's a fly in the room and I can't get rid of it. Then, through the adventure broadcast by the artifact known as Camelot, Clover becomes well known throughout society. The party dreams as conquer achromatic darkness, the most challenging dungeon of all, but they take on the dungeon in hopes of eventually achieving the goal. They gradually become entangled in chaos and the threats of the world. Okay, yeah. Bandai Namco Pictures, the studio. Source is a light novel. Genres are action, adventure, comedy, fantasy. Director worked on Skeletal Knight, Hypnotic Gnosis Mike as well. Series composition writer worked on Shangri-La Frontier, 'Tis Time for Torture Princess. And it'll be on Crunchyroll. There you go. What are you thinking, Chris? Are you excited for the guy that apparently has to have like people constantly praise him, apparently? The synopsis makes it sound like he's eager. I don't think he's probably that bad. It's just that he was treated poorly. He goes and hangs out with them, and then suddenly he's like, oh, it's going to go in that whole thing. Wow, this is what it's like to be appreciated kind of thing, which
probably.
Fine. It's fine. It's good to be appreciated. It's nice to be wanted.
The characters look all right.
I wasn't too impressed with the visuals, I think, when I checked this one out, but it's fine. It's not bad.
I mean, I definitely want to give it a shot. I like the idea of just the fun rump. I mean, that if that's all it is, it's more than enough, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know about the whole gamifying.
Yeah, what the heck is the live?
I don't like the broadcasting thing. It's the adventure broadcast, and apparently they have cameras down in the dungeon, and I guess they're gonna get like broadcast everywhere as an amazing party. I don't know. That's probably the only part that I'm like, oh, why do we have to gamify the whole stupid thing? Just let it be. Like, let it be. They'll probably come back up to the surface and everybody's like, oh my crap, you did that? Wow, amazing. And then his old party's gonna be like, oh wow, we didn't appreciate you enough. I forgot about that. They're gonna have the other A party gonna suddenly have troubles and realize that they needed him. They're gonna do that thing, aren't they?
Probably.
That's the main reason why I don't like the kick from the hero party, leave the hero party stories, because it always has to go back to the old party. Every one of them has to bring up the old parties. Like, just let it be. Just let it be. Let it die. Anyways, I left my A-rank party to help my students reach the dungeon depths. All right, Chris. It's time for some pretty boys. We got the pretty boys. I'm just going to skip the end of the... All right, Chris, check out this trailer. Gonna skip the end of it. You don't care. You don't need to see it anyways.
I thought you were doing that because you've done it a couple times. I just thought you were doing it so that it would go from the beginning.
I typically do that if I'm doing a capture, but I'm not. Promise of Wizard is our next one. Mahotsukai no Yakusoku. Animation project for this is not a synopsis. A world where wizards and humans coexist. There are 5 countries on the continent that is the center of the world, and their land patterns, patterns and personalities vary from country to country. In this world, a big moon floats in the sky, and people call it Great Calamity, and that attacks the world by exerting its mighty power. A big moon floats in the sky, and people call it Great Calamity, that attacks the world by exerting its mighty power. So the moon is attacking by exerting mighty power? Like, what? This is a story about wizards who fight the Great Calamity. Leading Film's working on it. Source is a game.
I doubt it's really hard. It's right there. It stays there, and it's exerting power, and you just shoot at it.
These guys are exerting some power. Anyway, fantasy is the genres. Director worked on Isekoi and Kofuka Graffiti. I apologize to them for having this project. Way to fall from grace. Series composition person worked on Beastars. Sorry. Oh, there you go. There's something interesting. For fans of Idolish 7, the creator worked on created Idolish 7. So I've heard a lot of good things about Idolish 7. So I'm certain this is probably going to be good. It's pretty boy stuff, so it doesn't typically catch my attention.
Yeah, not feeling it.
I don't know if Idolish 7... Idolish 7's like Idols, so I don't know that there's female characters in Idolish 7. There's one here. I'm assuming she's going to be Brix. Does she?
Probably.
Does she looks bricksish? For those new here, because I don't think we've talked about the Bricks character in a long time. It's just the concept of a female character that has no agency and just gets dragged everywhere. They have to be told how to think and what to do. They're just there. Brick's character. You're so pretty. What are we doing now? Toki. What is this feeling? Where are we going? Promise of Wizard. Are you excited, Chris?
No.
Of course you are. Moving on. Of course you are, Chris. Moving on. We have I am a noble on the brink of ruin, so I might as well try mastering magic.
We already did that. Oh, wait.
True.
So that was the 8th son?
Yeah. All of them. Botsuraku.
Oh, this is the 5th son. Okay.
Botsuraku yote no kizoku dakedo hima data kara maho wo kiwamete mita. While instantly enjoying himself after work, one man's life changes forever. He wakes up in the body of Liam Hamilton, the youngest son of a noble house on the brink of collapse. That's a transition there. Amid the innocently, people. Amidst the chaos, Liam realizes he's finally has the time to learn and practice magic. Once he begins, it takes his life for an even bigger turn. Can Liam master magic and save his noble family? The aristocrat fantasy begins. This literally sounds like a appraisal skill, but he doesn't have the most overpowered ability in a fantasy world. He just has regular magic.
No, we literally had this show like 3 seasons ago. I'm telling you, it's like 8th son or something like that. They literally he's reborn into a noble family, and he has the OP ability, and he's trying to hide from all the other ones so that he doesn't overstep the other brothers.
Marvy Jack is a studio, and Dean's helping him, but Marvy Jack, interesting. Source of light novel genres are adventure fantasy. The director worked on Ongoku Shoujo and Hidamari Sketch. His competition writer worked on Faraway Paladin, Harem, World's End Harem. So they're working on 2 projects this season. The creator is the creator behind Unique Skill Makes Me OP even at level 1. So at least this story got a decent studio to work on it. Because that show didn't get a good adaptation, but Crunchyroll streaming it. We'll see. I zero expectations. I doesn't seem like it's doing much unique, but hopefully something will get mixed in there. Girls are decently cute.
I mean, I'll definitely give it a shot. I love these kinds of shows, so I'm sure I'll enjoy it either way. But like I said, it feels almost to a T like Andrew is repeating a synopsis from a few seasons ago.
Right. There you go.
I mean, I'm like, my brain is going into the other show. I'm just trying to remember the exact name of it.
It literally, like,
I don't think it was the
you
8th
see
son.
the first episode. In your brain plays the first episode. Ameku MD, Doctor Detective is our next one. Ameku Tako no Suri, Suiri Karte. This was in Tenikai General Hospital's General Diagnostics Department. Patients who are deemed difficult to treat by other doctors are collected here. It's like, yeah, that one's going to be a tough one. Stick them with the rest. Just like collect them over there. Just like herd them over there. These are all the bad ones. Get them over here. Furthermore, there are murders and mysteries of unknown causes that even the police can't handle. Genius Doctor Tako Ameku.
Definitely not Sherlock.
Ameku. Yeah, not Detective Conan or anything. It reveals the shocking truth hidden behind the mysterious disease. Oh, these mysterious disease. Reveals the shocking truth hidden behind these mysterious disease. Not plural. So I guess there's going to be multiple of a thing called disease. Anyways, bad synopsis, I'm guessing. Studio is project number 9. Source is a novel, and the genres are mystery, slice of life. Director worked on Seventh Loop and Love After World Domination. And the streaming platform will be Crunchyroll, so there you go. What you thinking, Chris?
She looks cute. Not feeling the concept. I halfway wait for somebody to pop up and say, show me who's actually detective or who's actually Watson out of this one, because that's pretty much Sherlock.
Yeah, I know that there's quite a few, like, well, I guess not really like that common, but there's a few of them out there that like the doctor that solves the problem or fixes issues and whatnot, and they typically kind of get wrapped up into like murder mysteries as well, using their knowledge. So it's not a foreign concept, not an overly played concept. So I want to jump into this one. I'm going to jump in this one, obviously, for sure, but I'm with you on the idea where I like what this could do, but it always kind of comes down to how well it's paced and how well the writing is, because in a lot of cases, they'll turn into mysteries where it's either kept obscure to the point where you're just waiting for the character to say the punchline, or it's ones where you can kind of figure it out as it goes along, or in some cases, they could just be extremely boring. Like, it is a tough thing for writers to pull off, mysteries and crime solving and medical kind of stuff like this. So I'm hoping it's good. But
yeah, mysteries have always been hard for me, as far as keeping my interest and at the same time keeping it engaging. I think it's the engagement that's really the hard part.
Yeah. Daigo, Ameku, MD, Doctor Detective. Next one we have is probably the coolest title out of this entire season. Anyways, I'm falling in love with you. Or Dose Koishite Shima Unda. Anyway, I'm falling in love with you. Anyways. It's July 1st, 2020. No, it's not. Mizuha, a high school second year, is having the worst 17th birthday ever. She's missing her chance to get close to the older student she admires, and her parents didn't even remember that it's her birthday. First world problems. Worst of all, there's a new and unknown infectious disease making the rounds, so all of her club tournaments and school trips have been canceled. She's convinced that she'll never have a dazzling youth that she's always dreamed of. But then her childhood friend, Mizuki, suddenly declares himself a candidate to be her boyfriend. This is a school youth story about 4 childhood friends who grew up like family, one being the heroine, Nishino Mizuha, and the 4 boys she grew up with, whom she sees as family. Typhoon Graphics is the studio. Source is a manga. Genres are drama, romance. Anyway, I'm falling in love with you. I'm sorry, I just love that title. If that's the official, that's gotta be the official title.
I mean,
anyway, I'm falling in love with you. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I love how the synopsis is pointing out, this was in 2020 at a certain specific time frame, and things were going all crazy. Yeah, poor thing.
Poor you.
Do I want to live through it again? No. I think I'm going to skip on this one.
like I said, an infectious disease is spreading around. Anyway, I'm falling in love with you. Full on lockdowns. Anyways, too bad we can't kiss right now because there's an infectious disease going around. But I'm suddenly in love with you. And suddenly all my friends are like boyfriends.
You got to say that with while looking like you're disgusted at the world.
Anyways, come on.
Like you smelt something horrible. Yeah.
For reals. Anyways, let's move on. Zero expectations. Watch it. Hopefully it's good. Let's move on to Magic Maker. The show with Edis Grey Rat growing up with the Isekai kid trying to be Rudius learning magic. Magic Maker. How to make magic in another world. I kind of got that from the subtitle to be pretty much what it is. Magic Maker Isekai Maho no Sukurikata. A man who was who was 30 years old. God damn, that dude was literally in the grave. And wanted to use magic, died unexpectedly, and when he woke up, he was reborn in another world named Theon. He had high hopes for that there would be magic in another world, but there was no magic in that world. Theon became depressed and lethargic, but an event led him to discover the existence of magic. Yeah, he hugged his sister Edis, and then he started glowing. I've seen that in the trailer. That's right. If there's no magic, then I'll make it myself. With this in mind, Theon begins researching magic from that day onwards. Eventually, through the spread of another disease. God damn, dude. Was this 2022? Spread a disease that can only be cured by magic, and the chance encounter with an enemy that can only be defeated by magic, Theon becomes a hero who saves the world. Okay, so I guess next show. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's the story. This is a story where a simple magic fool who, while tossed about by fate, overcomes it with the power of magic and indomitable fighting spirit, ultimately propagating magic to the people. And then it ended because people can't handle magic in the end of the world. There you go. No, I got a huge kick out of the fact that legit that's Edis right there, or Seiyu. Like, I listened to the PV and she like goes, I'm like, oh, it's totally freaking Edis, isn't it? Like, he's got an Edis sister in the show and learns magic. Studio Dean's working on it. Source is a light novel. The genres are action, adventure, fantasy, slice of life. The director worked on Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, Isekai Jisan, and Rent a Girlfriend. Series composition writer worked on Under Ninja and Quintessential Quintuplets. So it'll be on Crunchyroll. So there you go.
Love it.
I'm decently not expecting much of it, but it looks fine. So I'll be checking it out.
I'm definitely checking it out. It looks cute. It sounds fun. I love the idea of just going through and making your own magic.
If you can't get it taught to you, you make it.
Yep.
Just should make it. I don't know why you didn't try to make it in your previous world, but here's the world. He's like, I'm gonna do it. And
well,
again,
he didn't
it's all
have
propagated because Edis hugged him.
Exactly. He needed an Edis.
He gets hugged by Edis, and bam, he's like, oh, I'm glowing. You need an Edis to hug you, and then it happens. Edis likes to protect him too. Here's an interesting one, Chris.
Are you sure?
This one I was like, wait,
State Farm.
Wait, is that what this is? The Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. Sentai Red Isekai de Bokensha ni Naru. Asagaki Togo was the Red Ranger in a heroic ranger squad. During their final battle against the ultimate evil organization, he suffers a crushing defeat and resigns himself to death. That is until he finds himself reborn in an entirely different world. Embracing his new role as an adventurer, he transforms into Kizuna Red and continues his pursuit of justice, helping those in need. Enjoy this heroic tale of Ranger becoming the protector of another world. Studio Satellite, source of manga. genres are action, adventure, comedy, fantasy.
Why the hell not?
No, it's funny because I seen the key art for this one, and I'm like, oh, it's a Super Sentai show. And then I noticed the wizard hat, and I'm like, hey, I mean, that could be the bad guy character. And I watched the synopsis or the video, and I'm like, no,
I love the way she's reacting. Like, what the?
It's an isekai, and he's legit, like, pulling out the gun and everything, blasting lasers and explosions. I'm like, this could be really great, at least for an episode.
Yeah, I would be afraid. I'd be afraid that the joke will get old.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I love the concept, though. This could so pull it off if they do it.
She's like, like, what the hell? Yeah, this is at least one episode will be gold. I don't know if it'll have legs. That's the problem with this one. It could be really good, though. If it pulls it off and it keeps it fresh throughout the entire thing. I'm assuming that a lot of it's going to be probably predicated on his personality, because he's probably going to be like, he's going to be total shoujo, or shonen, power up type of chuny-ish type of character. I'm probably guessing hero complex. So we'll see how that kind of plays out, but it definitely, PV sold me. I'm hoping it's something that can keep going. We'll see. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with this. That reaction, her reaction to that was just absolutely fantastic, and I would love to see how far they could push this. It's really, like Andrew said, this could be a one joke. First episode will be great, and then everything else falls apart. But it has the potential to be an absolute blast.
I get it, because he shoots them and it explodes. I wonder if the source materials... It's got a 7.0 on Mal. Again, not many members, so take that for what it is. All right, Chris. It is time for some Gohans.
No.
You miss them, don't you?
No.
You miss them.
No.
You miss them. Which one is this one? You have to. You need the good trailer. Is this the good trailer? What trailer is this? I ain't got nothing on it. There ain't no meat on that one. We need the trailer with some meat in it. Oh, is this the one with the meat? This is a different one. How many trailers they got for this show? There's like a trailer with all the fan service. There's a trailer with all the action. There's like one for each one. Which part of the girls do you want? Do you want the fan service? Do you want this is the one that's like vomit of action. I'll let you watch this one while I'm doing the synopsis, and then I'll show you the better part. Momentary Lily. It follows the daily lives of 6 high school girls surviving in a world ravaged by underworldly invaders, cooking together, battling mechanical monstrosities with their iconic weapons, and uncovering the secrets of their mysterious past and world. All these moments, momentary, are more... moments and more will appear in Gohan's one-of-a-kind visual style. You didn't have to put that last sentence in there. One-of-a-kind visual style, complete with pan shots going under feet. Gohan's a studio, of course. Source is original. Director worked on Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses and Masterful Cat is Depressing in Day. So at least 2 of their better shows. But I think he's like the chief director of all their projects, so it doesn't really matter. Just the directors, it's kind of like the whole Millipenzi thing. Their directors work on everything. The script work, this is where it's kind of rough, is Handshakers and Project Scarred. So that's a woof. We'll see though. I don't know. What are you thinking? Do you like this? Do you like this whole visual vomit on your screen right now, Chris?
There's a lot of vomit.
There's like, I watched that trailer and I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to show me. Like, it's just nothing but just characters flipping around like crazy, and there's no sense of what the hell's happening is really my problem. Where's the fan service one?
I don't know. The top one looked like it.
It does. That's a thumbnail though. I think that's the one you legit just watched. I think is a shorter version. There's another one that's just got nothing but the fan service. I'm sorry. What are you thinking, Chris, right now?
It's a vomit of colors. I'm
hair strands everywhere.
I'm
Chris.
so over Gohans. I find their I've never been big on their visuals. I love their artwork. I love their character artwork. Every time I see characters from their shows, they always look fantastic. That is not fan service.
Did they take down? I wonder if they took down the other one.
The one thing that has always drove me crazy about Gohans is their lens flares. They do lens flares everywhere.
Oh, stop.
And
it's not that bad.
And they're getting it's almost to the point where now they're just getting crazier with the colors.
There it is.
And I don't know. Their stories have never been big for me. I mean I liked K. K was really cool. But I want him to do K. That is very distracting.
What's wrong, Chris?
I want K. I want them to give me more of K. A lot of these other stories have not really worked for me.
They've always kind of functioned as, with most of their stuff, as sort of a back and forth between pretty girls and pretty boys. Mostly pretty boys, like K was very pretty boy eccentric. Scarred was very pretty boy eccentric. And then you have Handshakers that was more female focused. Momentary Lily seems very female focused. But they're always kind of centered around shenanigans and then battles happen. And I loved K series. I think it was fantastic. It got a little muddy towards the later chapters of that one. Project Scarred was blah. Handshakers was blah. Their recent two works were adaptations, which is Girl I Forgot Her Glasses and Masterful Cat, and those two were good. Masterful Cat I loved. Girls I Forgot Her Glasses was okay. But getting back to an original take, which again is more in the Handshaker, Scarred, and K, only one of them really worked out. And I think most of my problem that has come with those original works has always been in just not having very likable characters and an interesting world. K worked because it had good characters, not incredible characters, good characters and a really good concept behind it, which was basically the whole they're basically familias of Danmachi. There's just these swords and everybody kind of gathers around an individual and they make clans. And then you have the ones that are trying to police everything and everything. It was a solid concept and had a good little twist there. This one looks like it's going to be more in the vein of something like Handshakers, because the writer legit wrote Handshakers. So I'm not going to have any expectations for the story. So I'm kind of probably leaning towards hopefully just the characters and the ecchi is going to be decent, because based on the trailer, it looks like they're going to be doing I don't know if they're working in a bathhouse or something, or they're just having fun in a bathhouse. It gives me a sense, based on the synopsis and a little bit of the shots in here, that I'm guessing they're alone in the world. There's literally nobody there and they're alone there, which that could possibly be interesting. Is there an aspect of a post-apocalyptic setting and they're being attacked by stuff? Or is it just that there's, for some reason, nobody else around them when they're fighting and everything? That could be as well. Now, obviously, the big elephant in the room is I've always liked their style. I like a lot of the visual design of the characters. I loved all the... I even like Handshaker's character designs. I loved K character designs a lot. These character designs look great. I love all the characters. They look all cute. I love their designs. The question mark is the animation. I've always liked Gohans for experimentation. I've always loved them for that. Ever since K, when I had that kid, skateboarding down the street, I was like, what the hell are they doing with this? This looks interesting. It's obviously CGI, but it's a great little stylizing of it. I've always loved them for that. Yes, towards the later part of K, it started getting a bit much. You guys got to chill out on the camera angles. You're spinning the camera around like crazy. Chill. It's just literally the camera is constantly flipping around the characters as they're going around somewhere. Handshakers was too much. Handshakers was the break point. Holy crap. chill the F out with your camera perspectives. You don't have to constantly have the camera circling the characters. And then, because I mean, you had the whole, like, the girl walking into the classroom and the camera like panning around her and under her chest and and they did that with a girl, like, forgot her glasses. Literally, the opening segment is him walking down the hallway and the camera legit goes under his foot as he's walking. Chill with a perspective camera. Like, it doesn't need to fly around the character constantly. Masterful Cat had way too many establishment shots in the first episode. They chilled out. So I'm hoping they've learned their lesson. Like, just chill out and just let the characters breathe. Besides the combat sequences they've shown, it looks like they're chilling out. The combat sequences that they had in that one trailer, I don't know what's happening. I hate the combat sequences. Look like garbage because the camera can't sit still for more than 2 seconds. It's just literally the camera's doing this while the character's in the middle of it and the environment's flipping around like crazy. I don't know where they're at. I don't know what they're fighting. I don't know if they're hitting something. It's just I see a character flipping around all the place. So I'm expecting that I won't like the combat sequences, but I might like the character interactions. We'll see. So maybe, hopefully, at least carried by the characters, but I'm definitely watching it because I like their experimentation. I just think that sometimes they just kind of get too much. So hopefully they'll chill.
I'm impressed. I just caught the damn thing midair.
Pachi, everybody. Pachi for Chris. He got him. Anyways, Momentary Lily. Do you need me to turn off the distraction? There's some good fan service in there, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The hair, though, I do like the hair. I don't know how the hell they pull off that hair. Do you think they just render it and flatten it? Or do you think somebody actually draws all those damn strands?
No, they have to render
Look
that.
at that.
I'm sorry. I know they use a lot of computer.
It's got to be rendered somehow because I don't see somebody drawing all those, but they're doing a good job flattening whatever they're doing. Again, if they're figuring something out, then I'm all for that.
I've never argued with you on how good.
But they've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah,
I think they just have like a warehouse full of people, and all they do is tell them, draw the strands, and they just do that 24/7. Like even if the show isn't like greenlit yet, they're just drawing hairs.
Okay. Like I said,
that looks hand-drawn.
I like the way the shows look. I don't like their lens flares. That's the only thing that I've never cared for.
Yeah, it's all right.
Everything looks overly bleached out. That's my problem with them. It's always been my problem with them. But everything looks fantastic. Always has.
Always has. They could, but like my whole point is they've done this. Like this is this can't be. I know they can draw the strands of hair because they've done it. They've been doing it ever since K. It doesn't look AI. Like there's not imperfections like you get from AI. There's a continuity to the strands. It doesn't look like any strands pop out of nowhere, which typically happens with AI. I think they just legit draw it. It's freaking crazy if they do, though. Anyways, that's enough talking about hair. You have to when you talk about Gohans. You have to talk about hair when you talk about Gohans. Anyways, that is Momentary Lily. Let's move on to another OP that not supposed to be OP show. Another fruit eating power show. Not Fruit of Evolution. This is a different one. Bogus skill, Fruitmaster. About that time I became able to eat unlimited number of skill fruits that kill you. Hazure skill kinomi master. Skill no mi tabetara shinu wo mugen ni taberareru you ni nata kin nitsuite. In a world where eating skill fruits grants special powers, light. A boy seeks to become the world's strongest adventurer, obtains the blank skill, a bogus skill specializing in fruit cultivation that is completely useless in combat.
Eating a second skill fruit results in death, so there's no do-overs. Meanwhile, his childhood friend Rena, who promised to become an adventurer with him, achieves S rank in record time, and the gap in them widens. Light spends his days farming and training with a sword, but one day he accidentally eats a second skill fruit. Why am I not dying? Light avoids certain death and learns the incredible true power of blank skill. He can eat as many skill fruits as he wants. His overpowered ability allows him to gain an ability every time he eats one, for an unlimited number of times. The worst skill ever is actually the best skill ever. Big shock.
Asahi Productions. Based on a manga. Wow, I imagine that would be a light novel. Action, adventure, fantasy. The director worked on Mononogatari and Galaxy Next Door. That's alright. And streaming on Crunchyroll. There you go.
I wonder if it's a temporary skill. So if he eats a second fruit, he gets it temporarily.
It's like those combat games where you have to like scroll the ability, like Kingdom Hearts. So he's like, he's trying to get the skill that he needs. No, okay, there. It'll be one of those like, damn it, I forgot I scrolled out so I can cook, and now I'm in front of a monster. I gotta get my weapon skill back up.
Well, that would make sense if the skill was called blank. He can keep eating the fruits that are not going to kill him, but he's just at random points just getting different skills that are filling that blank spot. Now, if he's just racking up the skills, I mean, I can't imagine he'd be able to do anything else except for eating the daggum fruits because he's obsessed with it. I don't know.
That's my problem that I have with this is I'm like, okay, there's the title, but like that's my problem reading the synopsis of this is like, and the only way that I could possibly see it being interesting to watch is, yeah, if it goes to the idea that you're talking about where he can lose him, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
No, that wouldn't make him OP enough.
Because the concept, what it insinuates is the initial power was that he is able to cultivate them. So he's actually making the fruits. Because right here, they're given one. And he eats it, and that gives him the skill to be able to cultivate them. So he goes out and starts to cultivate them. That's why he has access to them. And then at some point, he's going to get one fed to him. I think he's probably dying, and somebody gives it to him and says, you're going to survive here, eat this. And then it's when he suddenly becomes... But he's still going to be cultivating them, I think. Anyway, the only way that I can see this being somewhat entertaining and interesting is it's probably going to be the idea that he's going to run into problems, and then, yeah, he's going to eat one, and then he's going to get a power that will help him through a situation. I don't get how you can make this last.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Yeah, he's going to hang out with his childhood friend, and they're going to run a party together, and they have a cute little lolly that's going to join him as well. But I don't get what is going to be interesting beyond this is my problem. Unless he's possibly going to be able to... The fruits that he cultivates can grant other people abilities, and he finds that out at some point. That's probably going to be a possible gimmick as well. We'll see. I'm trying to figure out what could be interesting in this.
I agree. It doesn't feel like anything that could really go past the third episode or so. They're gonna have to twist the gimmick in some way, shape, or form.
Twist the gimmick. Twist it. Yeah. Episode 3, he just legit dies. It's like the show just ends. He just dies, and the girls just continue on without him. It's so bad he died. Let's go back and we still gotta pay our bills. We gotta go back to venturing. He was such a good guy, though. Let's move on to Campfire Cooking in Another World Season 2, Chris. You liked Season 1, didn't you? No, did you finish Campfire Cooking?
I never watched it.
That's right. I was thinking that was one of those ones that I watched, and I don't think that you watched. But no, this one's actually called The Daily Life of a Middle-Aged Online Shopper in Another World. Or Arafo Otoko no Isekai Suhan Sikatsu. Kenichi, a single man in his 40s, transmigrates to another world while foraging in the mountains and he gets out of danger by using his special online shopping skill that he is given when he first transferred. With the buyback function, he can cash on his otherworldly belongings and buy goods from the modern Japan. While he starts selling those items on the market, they quickly become popular and sold for a good price. He could have continued to grow his store, but Kenichi's goal is to live a slow life until he's happy living self-sufficiently on the outskirts of town. But on one after another, trouble arises. A middle-aged man's mail-order life in the world begins now. Yeah, this dude's old.
He orders a deck on backhoe.
Yeah, I was like, I was joking about this is like literally campfire cooking another world with excavators now. Like, eat your heart out. What was his name? I think his name was Saito from Campfire Cooking. Eat your heart out. This dude doesn't have access to Amazon. He's got access to freaking excavators. It legit just looks like a knockoff of Campfire Cooking. I can't help but see that. That doesn't mean it's going to be a bad show, but at the same time, I'm curious.
But Andrew, cat girls.
The only saving grace is the fact that there's a lot of cute girls in this one, whereas Campfire Cooking, there was barely any girls in that show. It was literally like him hanging out with his cute little slime, which was great, and Iron's Own Gold Fenrir thing that was always hanging out with him. And every now and then he would travel around with a party, but this one at least has like a whole harem that's hanging out with him. And yeah, one really badly wants to get in bed with him. Which is,
I've seen at least 3 cat girls in this show.
You got like big sis cat girl, you got the cute mischievous cat girl, you got the lolly, and you got
an elf,
some saber face elf. I guess. I don't know. Is she an elf?
Pretty sure she was an elf.
Weed whacking in another world. She's like, I got a weed whack.
Oh no, she doesn't. She doesn't have.
Yeah, she's just a saber. She's just a saber. She ain't got no elf ears. There'll be an elf ear eventually. There'll be an elf ear eventually. There's going to be an elf girl eventually. Yeah, we'll see. I have no expectations, but I mean, it could be good. The studio's Eat Fish Studio. Oh no, East Fish Studio. Apparently, an Eastern Fish Studio. Light novel, ecchi fantasy. Ecchi? We got a lot of ecchi this season. The director worked on Queen's Blade and Oni-chan ga Kita. There you go. We got some promise now, people. We'll see. I know, no expectations. Hopefully the best. All right, Chris. It's been long enough. Old Michael Jackson's been gone long enough, so we can make jokes about him now, right?
Too soon. It's too soon.
We got a vampire Michael Jackson up in here. How do I say this? Baban vampire. The story begins with a 450-year-old vampire named Ranmaru. Working part-time in an old public bath, he desires the blood of an 18-year-old virgin, and so watches over the growth of 15 years. There's like 3 jokes I can make about this. I'm not sure if I can tell any of them. Very, very patient, or is it like a grooming thing? Just waiting for him to hit 18. And so he watches over the growth of 15-year-old Rihito, the son of the bathhouse owner. Studio Gaina. Sources of manga. Genres are comedy, romance, supernatural. Director worked on Flaglia and Be the Beginning. We're all over the place. Baban vampire. What are you thinking, Chris? Woo-hoo. It looks like it could be fun, weird, but at the same time, it looks kind of cringy.
It does.
It kind of looks cringy.
Look bad cringe. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I suppose maybe I'll give it a shot. We'll see. But no, it's like you said, it's kind of cringe.
Baban vampire. Tasokare Hotel. Tasokare Hotel is a hotel that is engulfed in twilight all day long. With no distinction between day and night, it exists as a place between life and death, where souls unable to decide whether to move on to the afterlife or return to the present world can rest their wings. The protagonist, Neko Sukahara, wanders into Tasokare Hotel, without remembering who she is or why she's there. Guided by the hotel staff, she is led to her room. There should be items related to the customer's memories in the room. These might serve as clues to help the customer regain their memories. While searching for a way to return to the present world and remembering who she is, she encounters a certain incident. Studio is PRA, source is a game. That makes sense now. Mystery Supernatural. It's like one of those things where I've watched the PV, I've read most of the synopsis, nothing was like triggering anything for me, but then like the fact that it's based off of a game now suddenly all makes sense. It's probably like a visual novel, click adventure type of thing, I'm assuming. I don't know. This is kind of one of those ones where I there's something in it that tells me this could be a hidden gem, but based on the game, I'm not sure.
Yeah, those never really work out well.
Like, is it based on a mobile game, or is it a visual novel, or click adventure is my question.
It'll really depend on her story.
I'm definitely going to check it out if anybody actually even licenses it, because I don't think anybody's listed yet as licensing it. I'll definitely check it out. It has a little bit of my interest there, but we'll see. The PV wasn't like super engaging, I'll admit. It's a little weird. It has a sense of like a weirdness to it. I kind of agree with you. I think it's going to really kind of settle on her character and what's going on with her. We'll see, though. That's Tasokare Hotel. All right, Chris, it's time for Not Fairy Tale. The brand new anime based on game Fairy Tale. That's not Fairy Tale. Farmagia. Totally not Fairy Tale. In Felicidad, farmers known as Farmagia raise monsters under the peaceful rule of Magus Diliculum. After the Magus passes, a power struggle erupts amongst forces using monsters to seize control. In the town of Sintvelt, Farmagia 10 and his friends band together against the despotic new ruler, Glaza. 10, his friends, and their homegrown monsters must stay strong to defend their freedom.
I need a Gajeel.
Yeah,
give me a Gajeel.
That was the only one that I didn't see in that list was Gajeel. Like, seen everybody else though. Definitely seen, like Lucy and
Lucy, Wendy, Natsu.
Yeah.
I think I seen a Gray, but I could be wrong.
There's totally a Gray in there.
I need a Gajeel. Give me a Gajeel.
It's like, do they tell him to make them look the same, or is it that he just can't break from?
There's Gray.
Yeah.
There's your girl.
There's Ursa, yeah. Is it just that they tell him to make it look similar because it's so familiar to people? They're gonna go, oh my god, it's Fairy Tale, but it's not really Fairy Tale. Like, are they trying to? Because yes, it's the character designer. It literally is Hiro Mashima.
Well, could you think maybe they're just trying to capture the same audience? I mean,
I'm of two minds. One, they tell him to legit make it look that way because they're trying to capture the same audience, or is it are they trying to skirt the copyright of Fairy Tale by making the characters look almost like them, but not really them? That way they can sell basically Fairy Tale somewhere else. It's like, why does it have to be so damn similar? That's my problem. Or is it just that that's his style and he just doesn't like to? Because it's a distinct style. Like, you see that and you go, that's Fairy Tale. But is that because they're trying too desperate to look exactly the same? Because yeah, they legit, it's each of them. It's got each one of them. It's just literally it's fairy tale Pokemon, Animal Crossing Pokemon fairy tale. I don't know. It's again another one based on a game. I don't know if the game did very well. I think I heard of the game a while back. I don't know if it did very well, but I have no expect. It's a Marvelous game. It might be okay. Marvelous is very kind of mixed. Released November of 2024. It's released here recently. Wow. Worldwide too. Ooh, that looks old. The game looks old. I don't think it's gonna be a good show. We'll see though. You have any expectations for it?
I give it a shot. I love my fairy tale.
Let's move on to the Headhunted to Another World from Salaryman to Big Four. Salaryman ga isekai ni itara shite no ni nata hanashi. This one is Dinosuke Uchimura is your normal everyday salaryman trying to climb the corporate ladder, but then he's summoned to a terrifying fantasy world but by the demon overlord, who offers him a new job as one of heavenly kings in his army with full benefits. Uchimaru may not have muscles or magic, but he does have an office worker skill and savvy. But he does have office worker skills and is savvy, I'm guessing. Will they be enough to keep him alive? Studio is Geek Toys in Comptown. I'm guessing it doesn't look that great. Geek Toys is kind of a iffy. Sources of manga. Genres are adventure, comedy, fantasy. Director worked on Failure Frame. Goody. Series composition writer worked on Our Dating Story and A Manchu Advance. Streaming on Crunchyroll. There you go. What are you thinking, Chris? Are you excited? I think this is one when we first heard it being announced. It was kind of one of those ones where probably going to be resting on the chemistry of the characters. I know we had like the fiery dragon something character girl that was with him. A lot of old farts getting isekai this season, Chris. Yeah. Is this the season of old farts getting isekai? We have a 52-year-old man bureaucrat. We got the 40-year-old Amazon order guy, and now we got this dude.
They finally decided that Uncle in Another World, or Isekai Uncle, was actually a success. So let's try it with everybody else.
People like the Isekai Oji-chan, so let's make a bunch of Isekai Oji-chans.
I don't know. It doesn't look all that great. The concept sounds like it could be fun, so I'll give it a shot on the concept. But other than that,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's going to be one of those aspects of like the chemistry with this girl, this demon, probably going to be the demon overlord's daughter, because he's a salaryman. It's going to be his it's going to be all in his ability to talk into situations or talk through situations. I don't know how Salaryman gets you to be smart in situations in this fantasy world, but they're going to pull something out of their butt. It could be an aspect of him trying to fake it to make it, dragged around by the daughter that might possibly think that he's special somehow, or he does something, pull something off. I don't know. It could be funny in that realm. It could be funny in the idea of him just fumbling through the whole situation to stay alive. But again, it's going to probably be very heavily predicated on his chemistry with the girl. I don't know. Definitely, I'm interested, but not expecting much, I guess, in the end. It's going to be one of those ones. And the last of our new shows of the season coming up. A new one announced that it was actually going to be the season, unless I missed it when I was setting up the initial list, because this one kind of popped up later. I Want to Escape from Princess Lessons, or Kisaki Koiku Kara Nigata Watashi. Letitia Dorman, daughter of a duke, is less than thrilled to be engaged to the crown prince. Betrothed since childhood and trained to be a queen, she always hoped Prince Clark would fall for someone else one day. So, when he shows up at a ball with another woman, Lete excitingly retreats to countryside to start her new life, only for Clark to appear determined to win her heart. Interesting. interesting. Studio is EMT Squared. Source is a light novel. Comedy, fantasy, romance is the genres. And the director worked on Junji Ito Collection as well as Diabolic Lovers. There's a good stuff there. This is definitely one of those ones where, like, the trailer kind of gives me a little bit of a like a little bit of a charm that I kind of liked. But I'm not expecting anything of it. Like, it's got a little bit of a charm in the PV, but at the same time, not like anything that's blowing me away. But it was a kind of a nice little surprise when it finally popped up.
I don't know. It seems kind of interesting. Looks cute, I guess.
That's cute, I guess.
So I can give it a shot. I mean, I kind of like her. She looks like she could be fun. And anything that puts her in a kind of a breaking out of the mold, we'll see.
Damn Prince Clark. I want to escape from princess lessons. And like I said, that's it for the newcomers. We have, like I said before, I think the big thing with this next season, and it's kind of been that way for like the last couple seasons, is like how many damn windows did I have open? Because I was just kind of throwing them on top of each other. That's why my computer in the other room is going, dude, you're running like 50 videos right now. Obviously, the big one right now is Soul Leveling coming back for a lot of people. Soul Leveling second season, Arise from the Shadow.
Should be fun.
Loving the new PV with Sawano Hiroyuki and Lisa. That was a amazing song. Like, I'm just like I enjoy Soul Leveling. Like, it's been pretty solid. Like, it's just a fun show. Like, the character gets a little bit questionable at times. Like, some of the character logics and some of the interactions are kind of like, okay, whatever, sure, whatever, move on. It's just been a fun show, and the animation's been really top notch. So I'm looking forward to coming back. I'm not gonna sell anybody on it. But the moment that I seen that OP, like, I just want the OP. Like, I want the song. Like, I want the Sawano Hiroyuki Lisa song, like, now. But yeah, we'll see. Chris has read the whole thing, so he's just gonna see it adapted.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, the next section should be fun.
Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Chris. Super, super excited to see Mamo come back. I cannot wait to see Mamo come back. That's I think the same studio and everything, so nothing really changed there. Obviously, with Soul Leveling, nothing changed. I don't think anything in the returning ones have noted any changing studios, but yeah, I love Mamo. Love to see the season come back. I will admit the first season had like a rough point in its second core, but it came back with like a really good final arc that they caught into, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Hopefully, we get back to more of the consorts and all that kind of stuff. It's like I felt like they got away from them way too much, which it seemed like they were getting back into them towards the later part of the season. So either way, super super excited. Mamo Faces coming back. Dr. Stone, the final season. We're finally concluding Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone's science future. I get it. Science fiction, science future. Yeah. Its last season was starting to lose me. I hope its final season... I don't know if I've really heard many people talk about the ending, if it was good ending or not. I think it's kind of one of those ones where people just kind of accepted the ending. I didn't hear like, oh my gosh, that was a crazy ending or anything like that. So I guess it's not been bad, but not good. Either way, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it conclude. I don't know that I like where the direction it's taking the conclusion, but hopefully it does something cool. Are you still caught up on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excited?
Yeah.
I know when you are.
I want to get it. I want to get it over with. I think I can agree with you on that.
Ready for it to go to bed. 100 Girlfriends Who Really, Really, Really,
Yes.
Really, Really Love You.
Please.
Season 2.
Please, by all means.
Or Kimi no Koto ga Daisuki na Hananin. Super, super excited to see that one come back. I love the first season. Like, one of those ones you think it's going to get old at some point. It just doesn't seem to do it. Like this, the writer's just good at writing character chemistry and comedy around them. I'm always I'm waiting for it to get too many characters, and it hasn't done it yet. So, and we have Ria Takahashi's joining the harem this time around. Yep. She's the baseball player. We have what looks like a Arara ringlets girl. We have like a gamer girl or something. I don't know. A shy girl. I think it's gonna be great. I love 100 Girlfriends. Kanane best girl still. We'll see if Kanane gets dethroned this season. It'll be
interesting to see how they start balancing characters, because there's no way that they can have all of them on the screen at the same time all the time.
Yeah, that's the question mark, is all the time. I was about to say, because like technically with even the PB, we're already seeing like the mother's up on the school roof with them. Because I think that was a question mark I had.
You realize it's not on the screen.
You're right, because I'm still setting it up. Relax, Chris. You'll get it eventually. My question
well, it looked like you were putting it on there, and then all of a sudden it went off the screen. So
well, I just reopened an old tab. I was kind of curious how it would happen with the mother getting involved now, and I'm like, well, she can't get like too close. This is like nothing but clips of the old one. The question mark was, how can you bring the mother into the picture, because she can't be at the school, right? And then legit, she's there. She's literally on the roof with them. I'm like, they let the mom come to the school? She's gonna get arrested.
Well, doesn't she wasn't she the principal or something?
I want to say that she was like a dean or something, or like she's a contributor or something like that. Yeah, just throw money at it. She got a lot of money. Just throw money at it. They're gonna put her on a microphone, and her voice is gonna wreck everybody. They're gonna put her on a microphone. She's gonna wreck everybody with her little cute voice. Anyways, I'm literally like getting sucked in the PV. That's how bad it is. I love the franchise. I cannot wait for it to come back, and excited to see what they do going forward. Super jazzed. Easily number one most anticipated show for next season.
Think so?
I think of everything that is like number one of the new of the like straight up new is going to be that Flowers and Asura. But for like, if you include the returners, 100 Girlfriends, number one. Right underneath that's probably Apothecary Diaries. But yeah, 100 Girlfriends easily number one. Happy Marriage season 2. Did you ever finish season 1, or did you even get started on season 1?
I don't remember.
Mio, the girl that can like, there's like a world of like, it's like a early show, wasn't it?
Yes, I watched it. I loved it.
Yeah.
No, it looked gorgeous and everything like that. Yeah,
Mio girl in the tree, mama tree cut down.
So that one's coming back. That's good.
Yeah, there was an OVA we need to watch too.
Oh yeah,
so it's on Netflix, like a quick OVA. I need to watch that still. But yeah, I'm excited to see that come back. That's another one where it kind of gets a little bit muddy towards the later part of the first season, but it was good overall. Like, I loved Mio's story. So we'll see. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, Chris, it's finally coming back. This is a legit
the actual show.
2.
Cool.
Not After Schools. This is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun season 2.
Probably need to go and blast through all the after schools real quick so that we didn't miss anything.
Well, I've watched all the After Schools, but I don't know that I don't remember there being really anything in there that was like story related. I mean, there's a whole thing about the Tama girl being like super OP, which I'm not sure if that's canon or not. Spoiler. But yeah, I'm excited to see that come back. It is one of those ones where it's like it feels like it's been so long. Do I need to rewatch the first season?
Right.
Because I think the only thing that really kind of I forget a lot about is like that whole other group and the other Hanako and all that kind of stuff. Unnamed Memories season 2 is coming. I don't even remember if I finished the first season of Unnamed Memories. I want to say that I did. I'll have to double check it. It was alright. I think it is kind of one of those ones that's kind of not a good adaptation overall. It's just, I heard way too many good things about the source material, and it feels like it's very much so blitzing through a lot of content. Ishura, second season. I'm super, super excited for that one. I really enjoy the first season of Ishura. If people are fans of like battle royale type of Fate series kind of thing, where you have like normal setting but then like crazy OP magic people fighting each other to death, that's Ishura. I really liked the first season. Really good character stories. It's very character backstory and build specific, with some really cool kind of political warfare stuff going on. But anyways, super exciting. Bang Dream of Mujika. More whining bang girls. Bang Dream, it's my go. It's technically like a sort of a sequel to Bang Dream as my go, because it's technically a band that was within the world of Bang Dream. It's my go, covering their story. So I'm sure there's people that'll argue with that, but a super melodramatic type of characters and storytelling. I don't know. I probably will watch it. We'll see. Sky Blue Utility, your Sora Iro Utility, is finally getting a TV series. So you watched the OVA of that, right?
Which one?
The Sora Iro Utility. It was the Golf Girls. You're getting your TV series. You had your OVA, now you're getting your TV series.
I don't think I watched that one.
Yeah, you did. I think you watched the OVA. It was like a 1-episode series OVA. Anyways, that's coming. So, Yo-Star Pictures working on that. Mahot Sky Precure Mirai Day. Some more Precures coming out. Unite Up. Unibirth. So, fans of Unite Up, you got a sequel, Unibirth. Unibirthin. Single Birthin. Aquarian Myth of Emotions is getting a 4th season. So Aquarian fans, I've never heard of that before. That's coming out of nowhere. Kini Kumen Perfect Origin Arc Season 2. So there's that. Mashin Sozuden Wataru apparently is coming back. So there you go with that. Card Fight Vanguard every season. Divine Z Deluxe Hin. Mm-hmm. And Blue Exorcist apparently is getting us 5th season. So there you go with that one too. We do have the shorts. We have 3 shorts, I think. I think it's 3 total shorts. One is one we've been waiting for a while now, is I'm Living with an Otaku Neat Kunoichi. Neat Kunoichi to naze ka dose hajimamashita. In order to protect an ordinary businessman, Tsukasa Atsumi, from demons, a genius Kunoichi, Shirozi Ideura, signs a master-servant contract with him on the condition that she stays with him. Despite her cool appearance of defeating demons, Shizuri is an otaku NEET who spends all of her time playing video games, while Shizuri is spoiled by Tsukasa and leads a lazy cohabitation life. The quirky Kunoichi gathers together a romantic comedy about living together with a genius Kunoichi who is an otaku and a NEET. Quaz the studio, sources of manga, comedy, ecchi, romance. It's going to be a 15-minute short, so it's kind of hard to call it a short. It's like, 7 less minutes than normal. I guess technically 2/3 the size of a normal runtime. High Dive will be running that one as well, so. It's like Bochi the Rock. Bochi the Ninja. I call it Bochi the Ninja. Mm-hmm. Got Bochi the Ninja. Umaro-chan Bochi the Ninja is what I would call it. I'm not super sold on the visuals. It's kind of one of those ones that feels like it's just kind of barely doing anything.
Sounds fun though.
Yeah, it has a decent concept. It's gonna be like in that realm of how Umaro-chan is my scale for when it comes to like neat girls is how Umaro-chan are they. So hopefully she's not too Umaro-chan. But that's good though. That's all right. It's all right. We have Theater of Darkness, Yami Shibai's 14th season. 14th season of Yami Shibai. 0 years old child starting dash story season 2 is coming out. So that's the other short as well. And then finally, that's it. That we have obviously continuing series. Shangri-La Frontier is going to go for 25 episodes. Orb is going for 25. Amigami Sisters 24. Rurouni Kenshin's going for 23. Ghoul School 24. Trillion Game for 26. One Piece for 21. Their new season. Tohai is 25. Tono to Inu is going for 24. Kagaku Boken Survival is going for 21. And Blue Box for 25. So a lot of shows from fall are just going to loop into winter, which is the reason why there's like 65 shows this season. Another reason why there's so many damn shows this coming season. So, what are you thinking, Chris? What are our big grabbers?
Yeah, the Guild Mistress, the Sakamoto Days.
Your Beheneko.
Maybe.
You're not big on the Beheneko?
Well,
I thought you were big on
any
Beheneko.
excuse to have ecchi is going to be great.
Like I said, we have a lot of ecchi this coming season. I'm surprised. And now, granted, again, like I said before, a lot of these genres taggers are getting pulled from like the source material. In a lot of cases, they lose that that tag going into the anime adaptation. Like 2.5 Dimensional Seduction has lost a lot of its ecchi this last season.
I'll probably give to the...
You like the Magic Maker.
Yeah, the Magic Maker, the Red Ranger for sure. So, I could probably do the Magic Maker and the, I guess the Bahamut one. The Bahamut Neko. I guess.
All right, I'll go with Bahamut.
The Bahamut Neko. I mean, I'll get it.
He's like struggling. Which other one? Yeah, I'll give it a Bahamut. Finally, you got it. What was my list for my new ones? Of course, Flower and Asura is definitely at the top there. Sakamoto Days for sure. Guild Receptionist, I'm super into. Grisaia, Phantom Trigger. I'll be curious to see how many people in the Discords on the Grisaia train, because I know we have a lot of visual novel fans, and I know we have a lot of people that were like super into Fruit Grisaia.
Back in the day, we got hit hard that we needed to watch Grisaia.
Yeah, we had a massive group. And it was like all about the visual novel. We had a lot of people that were supporting the localization of that. ZENSHU, again, I have no expectations for the writer, but I'm gonna expect that it's gonna at least be a decent show. Ubel Blatt, I'm really kind of question marking if the adaptation will be good, but I'll keep an eye on that one. Medalist, I'm super excited for. Okitsura, I'm gonna hope at least the studio does something with it. I'm getting married to the girl I hate in my class. I'm hoping the girls on the sides carry it. And I'll go with Medaka Kuroiwa. I'm hoping that one's at least a solid one as well. So, but yeah, like I said, this season coming up is going to be carried by the returners, obviously. 100 Girlfriends, Apothecary Diaries, Ishura. I'm super pumped for those to come back.
Yeah, those are definitely... I'm definitely going to be watching those two in particular.
Yep. But yeah, that's it. That is the winter 2025 anime season. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy. I just realized on my outline I have winter 2025. That's my top video. I don't think, because it's not in my script spot, so I don't think I accidentally said that on that video. I've done that before. I've done like a top list, and then suddenly I don't know where I get a comment saying 2020 this. Damn it. I make this whole video and I edit it, I check it afterwards, and I still post it with the wrong year or something on that. I hate it. But yeah, that's the entire winter season. I hope you guys will join us as we go into the winter season. We still got to go into doing reviews for the fall season. Then we're doing our top of the anime of the year, basically stuff, going through that stuff, going right into first impressions of the winter season. So I hope you guys will join us for that. Again, as per usual, on our YouTube channel, if you're not on there right now, youtube.com/otakuspirit. I'll be doing first impressions of all these shows as they come out. So if you're wanting to get a brief idea of what the show is about, who's working on it, how it checks out, what I think of the first episodes, I do first impressions of pretty much all the shows this season. If not, me and Chris will do a podcast of them. So, but yeah, hope you guys will join us for that as it comes around. But we thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed this rundown of the coming season. As per usual, if you're on YouTube or whatever, check the description. We have links to ways to support the channel. Otherwise, YouTube or otakuspirit.com. It's ways to support us. We greatly appreciate what supports the channel. And until next time, y'all take care.
Os.